Alright guys, and we're back here in Jönköping, Sweden for DreamHack 2011, the Season 1 Championship underway. I am Rivington III.
And I am Sinon the Stoic.
And together we are Zinington.
The casting Yeti.
Yes, as said by the forums.
Yes, they've decided
Daniel and his Yeti-ness. And then I can sit on your back and throw snowballs at people.
Absolutely, yes. So we came back a little bit early from this. Well, what do we have for the viewers here in Elmia and for all the many viewers at home? We have the Dinh brothers grudge match coming up right now. TSM versus Epik Gaming. Wow, this is gonna be painful. I think the mother is here, isn't she?
I believe so.
It's not gonna be great for her to watch this because one of the sons is gonna get eliminated. Well, he's not gonna get eliminated. He's gonna make 4th place, and 4th place translates into $7,000 prize money for the team.
Not bad.
Do you want to tell the audience though what you get for 1st place?
For 1st place is going to be a cool $50,000. That's kind of better split up between $5,000 and $7,000.
I'm not very good at math, not as good as Freak, but I believe 50,000 is more than 7,000. So you would.
I don't know. 5 is lower than 7.
And there's more zeros, but 0 is nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how it works. I'll have to ask a smart person after this cast. But yeah. Speaking of asking things, I'm going to post a Ask Gragas a question thread.
Yes.
And if you have a question for Gragas himself, there is a chance, a slight chance that we may get an answer for you on that. All right, so let's see where we're at here with the game. If people are in the game already, if
Indeed.
getting ready for this. I'm gonna be impersonating Freak because I'm too lazy to change my accounts right now. Join game. There's a game go. I think that's not our game.
Right. And as well, I'd like to give a huge shout out to PaySafeCard for the HD stream. You're viewing at home. If you are here at DreamHack, you're viewing that by the naked eye, and it's just about as good as what everybody's seeing at home on the HD stream, thanks to PaySafe. SteelSeries throwing out some mouse pads for the competitors to be using, and making sure all their surfaces and peripherals are working very nicely, as well as Alienware for providing the computers as well, and making sure there's a top-notch competition play we have going on here. And today, you know, everything's going really smoothly. We have some great matches going on. Some great head-to-heads. We saw that AAA kind of faltered in their 1st game, was able to come back nicely in the 2nd game though, and just back and forth to the Nexus, taking inhibitors down, and it was just, you know, in favor of Fnatic. Such strong play, and it was great because, you know, they came out with Gragas the one time, they banned Shushe's Alistar, and then Shushe was actually double ban countered by an Alistar and a Gragas, and we haven't seen that for one person. 2 bans were wasted. Not, I wouldn't say wasted.
Well,
all,
not wasted.
Actually.
They used. Yes. They used well as well. But you know, if we'd asked the teams to kind of fake it and make it an exciting match for us, I don't believe we could have gotten a more exciting match than this. It's just, it's mind-blowing, absolutely. And I'm gonna give a quick shout out as well to Own3D for actually making the stream happen. And I spoke to them yesterday a little bit, and there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, bringing the stream to these unprecedented numbers. So absolute thanks for that. And a quick shout out as well to Team LiquidNet, who have an amazing League of Legends is the name of our game. Yes, League of Legends sub-forum, where there's a lot of very nice, knowledgeable people sitting around, and great work there, guys.
Yeah, it's very good. We actually hit 210,000 viewers yesterday. That's an immense number. Everybody here a part of that history and a part of breaking into a new history and setting a bar that will hopefully break again today as we go on to the grand finals.
Oh yeah, I heard there's grand finals on today. At some point, they're going to be on at midnight, pretty much. Well, it depends on how soon the Counter-Strike game ends. Before that, I'm not very good at Counter-Strike, but apparently it can go to either 3 or 2 maps.
Yes.
So
and your overtime.
Overtimes. They have overtimes, yes. So we're aiming for midnight, and it's going to be, if you are actually here at DreamHack, make your way to the Dream Arena around that time. Expect some queues, but do try to make it in there. It's an amazing place. I watched some StarCraft 2 shoutcasted by Day 9 last year in the Dream Arena, and wow, that place is amazing. Just the atmosphere in there. So definitely make your way over there, and we're going to have a little winners ceremony after the game there as well. So don't miss that, because that is most probably not going to make it up on the stream.
Yeah, exactly, and we're also going to do the cast. The playing from here, the cast is going to the Dream Arena, as we said, and then the live awards will be back here. We're going to do those live on the stream as well, so that'll be really nice for everybody to see the congratulations and the prizes going to the players, and $50,000. Just love seeing those giant checks. And it's going to be $25,000 for 2nd place, $10,000 for 3rd, and as we said, the $7,000 place that we are going to see who's playing for that right now.
So even though we're saying that one of the Dinh brothers are, you know, one of the Dinh brother teams, let's just call them by their names, TSM and EG. One of them is going to go home. They're not going to go home empty-handed. We're going to give them $7,000, and you know, you can buy yourself a nice set of shoes from that. But I just heard that we are ready to switch over to either the coin toss or the coin toss. I'm not entirely sure which one
to
of
the
it
tournament
is.
area.
And here we go. Yes, I don't think we're going to have audio. So let's see if it's going to be the shiny side. And he drops it. That's it. Disqualified.
Failed gank.
The ESL admin has been disqualified from the tournament. Okay, it's pointing in the direction of SoloMid. And there is a handshake, so very good there.
Oh, there it is right there. Let's get a round of applause for the Dinh brothers. We're going to have an amazing game going on here in just a few minutes. Team SoloMid versus Epik. You can see Dan Dinh pointing at his brother. He's like, I heard that. I heard what you said.
So SoloMid won the coin toss. That means they're going to have first ban and first pick in the first game. And as far as I remember, I'm better, but I'm not entirely recovered. As far as I remember, the loser is going to get first ban, first pick in the second game.
Indeed. What do you think our bans and picks are going to be? The roster rundown as we see, you know, Reginald, Odd One, Chaox, Rainman, and Special for your TSM team. Salsi, Dan Dinh, Westrice, Dyrus, who's been playing a very good game for his team, and Double Lift, and maybe we'll see some of that blitzcrank pull. I know everybody wants to see a little bit more of that because it really turns a game around, and it's just so much fun to watch.
I'd give that man a big manly hug if he played another blitzcrank. But let's put it this way: these are the bans and picks that would make me saddest. If we saw Akali in blitzcrank banned against Epik, and if we saw the Rainman is probably just gonna do a tanky DPS with Jarvan again. That he was pretty good.
Yeah, it works out.
I think he plays a Singed too, doesn't he? So a Singed ban would definitely make me sad. And yep, we are all ready, and we're actually going into the picks and bans right now. So if we can switch over to that, please. That's the first ban. I'm sad. You guys can see that Akali has been banned already, and let me just make the background black there. So Akali banned against Westrice. So these two teams, TSM and Epik, they have been scrimming against each other remorselessly the last couple of weeks. Like, I don't know, 100 games a day? Would you say that's feasible? Probably not 100, but maybe 99. So they've been scrimming like Vayne. Again, very good pick. We have not seen a European team ban a Vayne yet, but she is extremely dominant in America right now.
She really is. It's that chase down character that you want to be careful about. Once the fight is over, she's going to be the one to pick up the kills, and we do see Vladimir coming up as well.
It's interesting because I believe that TSM have the stronger Vladimir and Reginald. But, and there's a Cillian ban. That's definitely aimed at Reggie. They're like, we don't believe we can draw it out to a long game. We don't want to lose in the first 15 minutes to Reggie's amazing OP Cillian. So, yeah, that makes sense to me. If you can draw it out to a long game, as we saw yesterday in AAA versus TSM, that Cillian is just going to fall off in power, and you're not going to worry about him in a 50-minute game. But, yeah, he can lose you the game the first 15 minutes. And there is a Taric ban. That's interesting. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's a really good ban, actually. You know, with the assist to the armor that Taric gives and the ability to CC the team and begin the initiation of a fight, if you will. It is a word. I believe it is.
It is a word.
And from so far away, as well as the happenings of how Dazzle works from distance, the closeness to the amount of time in the stun, you know, it just becomes such a useful CC to have, as well as that quick burst heal, and then again his ultimate, Twisted Fate.
Also aimed at Reggie, I believe. Yeah, the thing with Taric is also, if you pick a Taric, you want an aggressive lane, and there is the Corki pick up for Chaox. I believe he's going to play it as well. It's a very nice pick. Westrice playing a very strong Corki as well.
Yeah, so they're going to counter a little bit there with that one. Dan Dinh saying yesterday that he was kind of felt they had a disadvantage, that his brother knows some of their strats, but then againe, that's vice versa as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to have to see how that goes.
Nunu and Janna, so they're setting up for a conservative bottom lane, I believe.
Picking up Westrice picking that up for a switch around.
Oh,
a fiddle in the middle.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
He's running teleport.
No, he's trolling us. He's trolling us. We've been trolled before. Dyrus picked a Jax yesterday and then changed it the last day. My heart, like, because I want to see Jax. Well, there's a Jarvan.
With the right support, Jax can be one of those turnaround game characters.
Reggie, stop trolling us.
So we do have Special picking up Jarvan. That is going to be a solid pick for them, and he is going to be switching as well. You can see him running the support summoner spells. Annie for that huge burst AP, and as well as a little bit of sustained. You know, as she comes out with Incinerate, Disintegrate, she's still able to do a ton of damage after Tibbers just rolls your face through. Teddy bears are cute, but Tibbers is not the one you want to be hugging nothing at that point in time. Double lifted Dyrus to make their picks here.
They're not cute when they're 9 feet tall and on fire and dropping on you from the sky.
Fire retardant teddy bears are not something you want to play with.
Oh, MF Janna. That actually turns it into a very aggressive bottom lane after all, because with that shield, the double up is going to do more damage on the first hit, and the second hit does damage based on the percentage of the first hit.
Yes.
So with the shield, the double up becomes a damage multiplier, amplifier at least. So that looks good. And oh, there is a Malzahar pick. Malzahar has been doing some magic this tournament. If you just manage to go in and ulti the right person at the right time and get him into a chain stun after that, because it's what, a 3-second suppression? 2 seconds, 3 seconds?
It's quite long, actually. If you think about it, like I said, League of Legends is a game of seconds, and that many seconds really amounts to a lot, because it feels like an hour when you're in the suppression.
Oh yeah, and if you can just keep the AD locked down, there we have Warwick, very nice. That's probably going to be the jungle for them. In Europe, you would see the exact opposite. In Europe, you'd see the Jarvan in the jungle, the Warwick in the lane, and there is the Alistar pickup. Unfortunately, not going to be an AP Alistar. I'd be happy. Would you be happy?
Yeah, I think, but you know, nobody can really follow in the shoes of Shushay at this point in time. We're pretty much making himself the MVP of the tournament so far. We'll have to see if he can continue to do that with his team. However, it is a team game, so we got to give a huge props to everybody that has been playing so far.
I wanted to say that earlier. It's very good that you pointed out. Shushay would be nothing without his team in his back.
Right.
If he didn't have the amazing, consistent AP backup from Epik, if he wouldn't have that, the veteran AD in Elmia, the super support in Melisande, and the amazing jungle in Cyanide, he'd be a guy who suicides in and does nothing, you know? It's a team game. And his team knows him, so they say, okay, Shushay is going to switch on crazy mode, let's go and support him. And it just works out.
And we're going to have to see what Saucy goes for here. He does have the last pick. His team is discussing it. They have another 45 seconds left. And this is really the counter pick, that last pick they're going to be able to do, possibly countering or possibly helping the team composition that Epik has.
I smell something. If he doesn't pick tanky DPS now, Epik could be running a EU...
Wow,
really?
That is for Westrice right there.
Wow. Yeah, of course, Westrice doesn't have his AD yet. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. A dual AD. I don't think I've seen that since the Fnatic vs SK game in the EU qualifiers, and Fnatic lost with that. They were actually running exactly the setup. Right. Now that I think about it, that was exactly the setup that they ran. MF and Tristana, Malzahar, Nunu, and Janna.
It's quite a tanky team they have to cut down right now. They do have an Alistar, they do have an Xpecial.
Yes, and the thing is that with Nunu and Janna, you keep your dual AD safe, right? You can push the enemy away, or you can, and this is important for all you 1400s out there, Nunu in high level play, the damage from his ultimate, it looks great on stream. The damage, irrelevant. No one in high elo cares about that, absolute zero damage. What Nunu does is huge area AoE slow, meaning that people who want to jump on your ADs, unless they have a jump ability, will not get there in time, and it keeps them safe. So Nunus go in early in the fight, use their ultimate, and it's really not going to make that much difference damage-wise, but it's going to allow the ADs to play unsafe, in quotes, and just do that damage. And Janna, same thing, if they get close to the ADs, bam, Janna blows them away. And if just one person, like, I don't know, a Warwick or so, jumps on the AD, well, Malzahar's going to lock him down and just say, thanks for that kill, I'll take it.
And we're going to have to see how Janna really plays out within the team fights. You know, everybody's going to kind of have to gather together to get that assistance from Janna. It is quite big. She has a great range on it. But Xpecial is the only one that's going to be able to heal his team, really. So maybe be seeing some, Warwick's going to be able to do that for himself. And they could be taking a lot of initial damage in the beginning. You're going to have Tristana blowing up with some crits here and there. Absolute zero if procced in the bush is going to do really good for him. And that's really where they'll want to focus on it, because they have Jarvan that can come in there, pop Nunu out of his ultimate, the pulverize, as well as Reginald on his pyroclasms. He can use that stun to take somebody down, and not take somebody down, but stun as well as take somebody down, I guess. The suppression from Warwick and Corki can just kind of run around and get out of that. It's absolute zero quite easily.
Yeah, so exactly.
There's a lot of things to interrupt that absolute zero on TSM side.
So people in the forums have been giving me a hard time for being biased. I'm going to be biased in this game. I want Epik to win. I'm just throwing it out there. I want them to win. I really want to see a Fnatic versus Epik finals.
Yes, that would be an amazing matchup. We saw so many grudge match between them yesterday, just head to head, down to the last second.
The second game, best game of League of Legends I've watched in my entire life, and I've watched hundreds of them. That was just beyond incredible. We're loading into the game now slowly. We're almost ready to launch into the game proper. Are you going to back TSM?
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to back anybody. I think we have a huge matchup here. Some brotherly love going on. The Dins about to face off against each other. A match that everybody has wanted to see. The Dins probably not so much, and we're going to have to really see how they take that into consideration, knowing each other's strategies, knowing the first invasions, the amount of timing that they have as they go towards Dragon or Baron. And we've always said Reginald with that sixth sense on when they can do Baron and when is the perfect time to do that. And we saw TSM actually understanding another thing about timing in the base race the other day, as they were the first ones to make the step away and the push towards the base. Another amazing match, and you'll see that in the highlight reel as it comes through to play as well. And we're going to get this Zenington down as the casting Yeti. Here we go. As I mount onto your shoulders and get ready for this matchup, we are going to get these guys live in just a few seconds as they load into the game. And we'll see what they have to provide for us.
This is going to be amazing. I really have been waiting for this game for a long time. I wanted to see the Dinh brothers facing off, and here we have them right now. We are going into this game. It's going to be Epik Gaming versus Team SoloMid. Let's hear it for both teams.
All right, let's see what they do right off the bat here. It looks like they will start to go towards top and set up. So they think they're going to take top golems, and they're going to try to thwart that instance here. And it looks like TSM does not have that idea. They're going to go towards the bottom, and they're actually going to do a regular blue invasion here as they head towards the Wraiths, probably, or the Wolves rather. Probably a quick steal on blue or something as that sort. But as they move through, power and numbers right now for both teams, we can see Epik going for that click onto their blue, and they may start to move towards that area, going down. Oh, so wait, TSM may stay in this position and try to catch somebody as they go to lane. They haven't seen anybody in the bottom. They know that the blue is not being covered, so they'll definitely take that. And they may have, they're going to, there's so many things that can happen right now, but it's in their head what they want to do. We can't really read that at this point in time, but staying in that spot, they could definitely grab somebody who's transferring to their lane.
The amazing thing here is that there's so much metagame going on that we don't know about yet, because these teams have been scrimming so many times. There may have been hundreds of games that started with invasions like this, and they're playing against different mindsets, and there we see the perfect clairvoyance. So now TSM know exactly where Epik are, and they have no idea where TSM are. So that is an advantage for TSM right there. Warwick gonna pick up that blue, gonna say thank you for that, and start a dual golems, which is gonna be a very, very quick route there. And Tristana, she is gonna go top. That's interesting. Now very, very safe, transitions back to bottom lane. Double lift, it's probably going to be safe as well. And Rainman actually porting home from the enemy jungle. Interesting. The odd one actually takes down all the lizards around Golem. That means it's going to respawn quicker, but you know, it's a bit more experience in gold for him.
Yeah,
so
it's definitely what he was looking for. He wanted that full, actually not getting the full level. His team was there to help him out, so he's probably going to be able to go for one of the smaller minions around his blue golem as he goes to get that buff, and it'll really help him out getting the level 2 as soon as he's going for his own blue, and he may even dodge that one as he already has one, and it looks like he's going actually, not Jarvan rather, I'm sorry, Warwick down bottom has the blue. And we have Dyrus and Double Lift as Misfortune and Janet down bottom, the carry and the support, as well as Chaox and Xpecial as Alistar and Corki. And we're going to see Xpecial leaving his lane a little bit in a few levels once he gets his Pulverize and Headbutt, so he can make his way around and do the roaming Alistar.
Absolutely, and we see top lane, we see the Rainman versus Westrice. Rainman taking one of those damage over time shots there from Tristana. He's going to be fine though. He's going to have to wait for that to run up before he throws in a potion, because otherwise the potion's obviously not going to do much damage. And like I said, Warwick starting at dual golems, then doing raids. That means this is going to be an extremely fast route to level 3. And Reginald landing a stun there for the combo on Salsi. So far the lane's been going to Salsi with 15 to 9 creep kills. And we see a little bit of aggression here. Xpecial going in for the Pulverize. Dyrus taking a lot of damage, and they must be happy about that right now, Team SoloMid, because that Janna can shield, but she cannot heal. And the only way that Misfortune has of getting health back is the 3 potions. Well, 3 potions is enough. She needs to start taking them though. She's extremely far back right now. She's probably afraid of a Warwick coming in. Oh no, Xpecial has actually... there's actually a restart going on.
There was not first blood, and we have not reached 5 minutes, so we are going to get a restart on the game. That does fall within the rules of this one, and we are going to go ahead and get that restarted. If it does not have a first blood yet, or within 5 minutes, it is a justifiable restart, and that is what we are going to have right here.
Okay, so yeah, it's obviously not ideal to have a restart, but I heard there was a crash, and in this case we could absolutely restart.
Yes, Dyrus was still able to do what he had, but was freezing a little bit back and forth, so, you know, that's not really gameplay you want to be able to go into the game with. These computers been on a long time today. We're really stressing them out. A huge amount of gameplay coming out of League of Legends, and long, very long games that we're seeing right now. A lot of the games were shorter before. They were able to get out, the PCs cooled down, but we're going to see and get the problem fixed up, prop them up, and get that airflow going through them. So we're going to get this game recreated. We're going to join in here and see what we have. We're going to go with same picks and bans as usual. The players know that very well by now. They're just going to go ahead, go down the list, and we're going to get this game going live again in a few more minutes.
So we did, of course, QA these PCs before we used them. I mean, obviously we checked them, but you cannot check for everything.
Checks, updated drivers.
Things always happen, yes. Things always happen like that.
Certificates, everything, back and forth. But hardware is hardware.
Yeah, absolutely, and hardware hates you. That is a known fact in computer science. Hardware hates you. It wants to do damage to you. It wants to hurt you as much as possible, and basically, yeah, computers are sentient already, and they don't like us very much.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to get everybody back into the matchup. If you have not checked out any of the VODs we have up, if you missed some matches before, make sure you go to that, the s1.leagueoflegends.com. The
most recommended match from yesterday, I would say definitely Fnatic versus, what was that last one? Fnatic versus Epik. Yes, the second game from that. Amazing, but possibly even more amazing. What was that? No, what was the very last game? No, the second game of that. That was the most amazing game. Yes, but also not bad. The games that we casted, AAA versus TSM. I would say
games.
The very first one, especially for the ending, but the second one, that turnaround fight at Baron, I haven't had the chance to watch the VOD, but I'm going to go through it. I'm going to be like, pause, what actually happened, because that was just too much for me. I was like, I don't know what's going on. How did AAA win this?
Standing next to you in the replays of the day on the highlights, you could just see Daniel's face.
Yeah. I was actually hurrying to get here. I was running a little late. I was like, oh God, I hope I didn't miss the highlight reel. And I believe there isn't a person out there who didn't see that Shushay flash into Kill on Malta coming as a #1 pick for the highlight of the day. That was just, beyond epic. So yeah, we are restarting the PCs right now. It may take just a little while. We want to make sure, of course, that this doesn't happen again. We're going to
get them restarted. If you're a little bit new to League of Legends and you don't know much that's going on, there are definitely a lot of viewers on the stream. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here for the Season 1 championship here at DreamHack in Jönköping. An amazing and beautiful Sweden. You know, I came out here, I actually had a sinus infection, and just a day here, I was absolutely cleared up, and I was like, wow, maybe every time I get sick, I'm going to come to Sweden. It's just so clean here, and it's so beautiful, and an amazing place to hold an event like this. So many people like mine that can come together and enjoy video games, enjoy the esports scene, and just have that kind of community and communication with each other, meeting so many new people. I've met so many people here today. Man. It's been absolutely amazing. So many fans of League of Legends, people making their own shirts, cups, mouse pads, everything. And that was actually one person we met outside. He walked right up to us and he's like, I love you guys. This is all the stuff I've made. And we were blown away. It's just such an awesome camaraderie from the entire community. And as I've said before, and I'll say it a million times, we would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. Absolutely. So thank you very much for being such loyal and awesome community members.
And this feeling of sitting here in the audience and having all these people next to you, just look to your left, look to your right. There are people who enjoy the same kind of stuff that you enjoy. When you sit at home, watch a stream, like, I don't know, I'm sitting alone here on my PC, this feels a little, I don't know. But you know what? There are literally hundreds of thousands of people out there who enjoy the same kind of stuff. And you know what? Over here you can walk up to anyone, you can go like, hey, what do you build on Warwick? And they're going to be like, attack speed all the way, and you're like, yay, stupid Warwick builds. Actually, a true fact, in Nunobot 2, I had 2.5 attack speed on Warwick, and I was still stacking AS, because that's how you do it.
You would.
I would.
I believe you. I definitely believe you.
So if we have the time, I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get restarted, we could cut over to the Telecaster tool if we're ready for that, and we can talk a little bit about the jungle invasions that we've been seeing here, because there's a lot of metagame going on with the jungle invasion. So what we saw in this game right now was Team TSM coming from up here and invading the enemy jungle like this.
Yep.
And then I believe they were going into these bushes, waiting in these bushes, which is a safe place. And I believe they waited for the clairvoyants to come up and then obviously go into Golem. And at that point, they put a clairvoyance, an aggressive clairvoyance down here and moved forward into these bushes. Because what you often see the enemy team do is this, obviously, this is where golem spawns, and you want to protect this for your jungler, right?
Yes,
so you're going to have your jungler wait somewhat like, you know, up here, somewhere like that. And you're going to have the rest of the team stand down here in these bushes and, you know, protect him. That's one possibility. Sometimes in solo rank you see people standing here as well. I don't like that. You want to have all 5 together. Strength in numbers, as you always say. So they actually clairvoyance back here, and that would have revealed like this kind of area. So they revealed the bushes over here, and that meant they knew there was nothing in the bushes. They could move in. Now at the same time, we saw that Team Epik did something completely different. Or was it Team SoloMid? Sorry, Team SoloMid did something completely different in that they actually went into the river. I believe they went like this. I'm not sure if they went through the main lane, and then go into the enemy forest like that. Take this bush again. Bushes are very, very important because there's always a chance that the enemy team will be waiting for you in the bushes, and then rotate it around from behind. So once again, if the enemy team was actually standing in these bushes, they would have been in a very good spot to initiate there. And in these Team 1 fights, Level 1 fights, what you very often see, and this is a mistake that people have learned not to make anymore, is the defending team, they say, oh, we're ready for a Level 1 fight, right? So we're all going to stand in here, in these bushes. And then the enemy team just comes out this way, and they have something like an Alistar. And they just clairvoyance it before you can go back, flash in, pulverize on this area. You have 3 people, 4 people knocked up, which is a stun that can't be cleansed, basically. And then after that, there comes the damage from the attacking team. So these invasions, always a power play, risky power play as well. Something that we saw in the European qualifiers, and I just want to talk about it because it was so brilliant, and at the same time it was such a facepalm moment. So SK invaded this way into these bushes, and then from the bushes here, and they all clumped up as closely as they could in this area right there. So they were all standing there, and if you can see, there's this one tree here just jutting out a little bit. So they were totally lost there, and they were playing against Fnatic, right? And Fnatic was setting up here as a super defensive setup, and they said, okay, clearly they're not coming, so we're going to rotate around. And Shushay on Anivia was rotating around, and he walks up this way with the entire Team SK standing here, and then he just steps out behind the tree, says, oh shit, turns around, and SK's just like, oh, we should have done something. And nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. And Shushay just, I don't know, just walked around here and was completely safe and went to his lane. It was like, holy shit, that could have been a really, really bad start of the game.
Yeah.
These invasions are really fun to watch. The European meta game, they're just fallen out of favor. What we often see is the Wraith steal at level 1, where something like an enemy Nunu will just walk up
quick
and eat.
Swipe, quick eat.
Yeah, exactly. And that is important because as the jungler, you want to hit level 4 before you gank. So a jungler, a good jungle character, usually has 2 skills that help him in the jungle, and 1 skill that is super important for ganking. So what you do is you level the 2 jungle skills on the first level. So Warwick, my main still, you would either start on W or Q. There was a bit of a, you know, the Warwick camps are fighting each other there, which one's better. I believe W has been shown to be a little quicker, but Q is just safer, and, you know, I'm not a good player, so I play it safe. Generally, good advice, if you know you're not a good player, play it safe. So I start Q, then I do W after Golem, and another Q, and then I rely on getting level 4 from Golem, right? From in the other half of the jungle. And if I don't have my large Wraith, my big Wraith, I'm not going to get that level 4, and then I'm not going to have the Blood Scent, which means that if I go for a gank and get somebody low, there's no way we could chase them down and kill them.
No.
And that means I'm just not going to be a very powerful ganker. And that's why these smites are so powerful. It's the same with Mumu. Mumu will start the jungle always with Despair, then level Tantrum. Then on level 3, I'm not a good Nuno jungler. I believe leveling Tantrum again is the fastest way. And then
right. Well,
on level 4...
it depends on really how your lanes are going. If you want to get that bandage toss and head out, you are going to have your buff. It's kind of going to slow you down if you don't go for it.
Right.
But it's really the normal.
Yeah, you don't want to have bandage toss before level 4 at any rate, because you're not going to gank level 3. It's not going to work on Nunu. So you have that Tantrum to go to a quick level 4. Yeah,
yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about Mumu. Yes, absolutely. You're going to have that bandage toss at level 4.
Okay.
And that means you're gank ready. Before the bandage toss, you're not gank ready. You can come in and start crying a little bit, and they're going to go, okay, cry, and I'm going to be completely fine with you crying. I'm just going to run away and laugh at you. So I'm sorry for having to fill time here a little bit. We just wanted to make really sure that there's not going to be any further problems, and we are ready for the game here. I just gave the go in chat, and second attempt. We're going to go real quick through the picks and bans again. I think we should still cut over to the picks and bans just so we see them again. For everybody who just tuned in, you didn't miss anything. We remade the first game of... oh, it's blind pick. Well, that works for me. That works for me as well. We remade the first game of EG versus TSM. You didn't miss anything. The Dinh brothers grudge match, that is a difficult word to say for a non-native speaker, is about to start. Can we cut over to the game client, please?
And we'll have to see, most likely going with the same. They're going to go in here. The thing that might change up is going to be the jungle invasion, however.
Exactly.
You know, they had a pretty good job on TSM. They went for the blue. They were able to get it. And as you said, a very aggressive clairvoyance coming out of the hands of Epik. They used theirs to clairvoyance the blue they were going for, TSM's. And TSM was like, we're going to try and see if they're at our blue right now. And that's a little brotherly love, I think, that was going on there.
They knew it.
As they were able to figure that one out and not have to use it for themselves.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and get into the splash here as the players load into the game.
Still sad to see that Akali was banned. Blitzcrank wasn't banned, was he? But
he was not, but not chosen banned, as well. The team composition most
didn't
likely didn't call for it. They still needed the support, and Double Lift was, you know, more than happy to play that role for his team.
So I'm going to predict right now, if EG lose this, Double Lift is still going to hold Blitzcrank, because he does not want to lose the chance of playing another Blitzcrank in this tournament. It was just too amazing. Those grabs yesterday, just like, I wished I could play Blitzcrank like that. There's so much prediction in there, because there's this travel time, right? You shoot your hand, the left hand, it's right hand. You shoot your hand, and it flies, and it takes a while to get there. Anyway, we are now in the game. TSM versus Epik Gaming is the first game of a best of 3. Once again, the Dinh brothers facing off. Let's hear it for those teams.
Back into this one, we'll see what has to happen here, and there may be a switch up in what they begin to do, and it does look like that's going to happen, and they will start to hang out in their bush. TSM just hanging out by Wraiths this time. A lot of pings going down from both teams, and we're going to see how they adjust to this one. They are not going to go for an invasion themselves. They know that the jungle needs to be in favor of Epik this time. If they lost their blue last time, they weren't able to grab the other one, so they have to be very careful.
Absolutely, and TSM setting up, like I showed on the telecast, very, very aggressively. They have the Ani, they have the Pulverize. This could potentially be very painful, but Epik have made it out in time, and they have just given up their blue. That's a little bit of a strange move to me. Well, then again, yes, you don't want to team fight at level 1 against these people.
Okay, so they went back and forth and actually placing a vision ward down. The pink ward will be able to see other wards. Yep. The green wards are just going to give you vision in that area, about the range of a clairvoyance. But we're going to see, we see Salsi using his abilities on the fountain. You're able to proc the minion that he will be able to spawn, or pet, if you will. Malzahar can't spawn every 7 seconds. That'll grow in size and do a little bit more of everything, as it's his little assistant there. And it looks like we will be seeing just a mirror of what we had before. The buffs are going to be back and forth. They still have their CVs to use. There's one going down, and Double Lift sees it. The other one, I believe, has just fallen as well out of the hands of Double Lift, and that is Alistar, especially using his clairvoyance. And back and forth, they say, hey, thanks, you know, we're going to use yours, but we're still going to get the same, advantage out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pink ward here, just like I say, I like it. I like it a bit, but I would have liked it more if the support from bot lane would have gone back there to place a ward later on, because these wards are going to expire in 3 minutes, and the buff takes 5 minutes to spawn again. So if you place a ward that's going to be alive while the buff is up, you can have your Ani just teleport in on that Warwick from behind, or rather on that Nunu from behind, and just kill him and take his blue. That is just an amazing move, but you have that jungle control, I guess, now early game. And yeah, Janna and Misfortune setting up for the standard bottom lane.
The odd one going an extra step on that, and he did take the blue wolf. from Wolf Camp there, so or the Brown Wolf, I should say, the bigger one. So they will not be able to have that. It's going to be a little bit of experience lost from Nunu. However, he can usually stay in the jungle longer than most, as he can just consume to get his health back. Doesn't really have to worry about using too many health pots, and we will see how they play that out. Again, Westrice up top. With Tristana, Rainman using Jarvan, and he is going to be up top in the 1v1 situation. Salsi and Reginald in mid. Reginald was being very aggressive last time, and we'll have to see if he can keep bringing that to Salsi. Salsi knowing that he's going to be playing that way. You can see him staying a little farther back, but Reginald playing Annie, one of the longest right clicks in the game, will still be able to harass a little bit, but not as much damage. Dyrus and double lift down bottom as we had before. X special on Alistar and that Corki Westrice, or Chaox Westrice actually, and they are going to be pushing their lane quite hard.
And a Clairvoyance here in the river. They are a little bit afraid of a Nunu gank, but Nunu is, well, what is he doing? He started the red and then he changed his mind. Did they Clairvoyance Nunu? No, I believe I saw the Clairvoyance in the river. So I'm not entirely sure why Nunu is doing what he's doing, but I guess Dinh is a better jungler than me. So he's using a lot of time on this red. Maybe this is a way of doing it that doesn't lose you too much health, possibly. Let's see how the CS are going. So for Annie at 16 versus Malzahar at 21, obviously Malzahar is going to win the early lane here against Annie. But if she lands the stun, yes, Reggie choosing not to play aggressive. He could have followed up with a E here with a cone attack and done some more damage to Salsi, but he's like, yeah, that's done, now it's just enough. Just, keep your distance. I can do damage to you.
And it looks like Westrice being very passive in his lane, not using any mana yet, but he is going to go back to get a little bit more damage, I believe. Chaox still pushing with that Corki. Looks like the mid or bottom lane is back to the mid farm right by the river. That's exactly not really where you want it is when you're 2v2. You kind of want it more towards
your especially coming in for a gank on Salsi, but Salsi spots him just in time. That was good play that they remembered that Malzahar is always going to push, right? As Malzahar, you cannot opt not to push. So that was a very, very good attempt by the Alistar. I'm not sure they're going to play him roaming Alistar the whole game. They're probably going to have him babysit that Corki bottom lane. Now he's going in for... Is Dyrus disconnecting here? Oh god, please don't say he's disconnecting. He's just standing there, not moving. That Janna is also just standing there. Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Wow, Dyrus' computer really not liking him whatsoever. And that is quite unfortunate. It just seems like that last laptop on his side is going to be switched out. We do have the admins coming in here to make sure everything is going to be fine. We're probably going to really get this one switched out. Just put a whole entire new computer up for that setup for Dyrus. And I'm actually glad this is happening quite early in the game. It's unfortunate that it is happening, and it hasn't happened throughout the day, an entire day, as we have said before. But now, just hardware just kind of punching in the face.
It hates you. It
hates you, as you said before.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and jump out of that.
Yeah. So the resetting right now, I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take. I'm going to get an ETA for you as soon as I can. Obviously, it's a bad situation when you sit there and you just want the game to start. And some people here are getting bored as well. Not the ideal situation for us to have, but trust us, guys, once we actually go into this match is going to decide who is going to go on and represent North America. Who is going to fight for the honor of North America?
That is going to be very big, and a lot of people want to represent that as the last team. Many people thought it would be CLG, last year's WCG winner, able to come out on top and get that #1 spot and take it away from everyone else. So they're actually placing 5th this year, I believe, and that spot is going to be the $5,000 spot. A lot of people were wondering how much money they were going to be taking home, so they still go home with a good amount of money in their pocket.
And we gave game $2K as well. $2K, that didn't sound right.
$2K.
Yes, I
$2,000.
Yes. For the 6th place, 7th and 8th place, unfortunately don't get any prize money, but they did get a free trip to Sweden. That's pretty awesome.
Yes,
and they got to play in an awesome tournament and basically wow us all with their first game against TSM. That was just the first game of San versus TSM. No one saw that coming, and I believe San can pretty much take the VOD of that game home as a prize. They can, I mean, TSM is still in this. They can still make first place, and then San can say, well, we dominated the team that made first place in this tournament.
Yeah, that's going to feel really good. They're probably going to go home, you know, continue to work on their play set. Pacific, as we said before, the other team from Southeast Asia, they came in with 2 players they had grabbed only 5 months ago. And coming into a tournament like this, you have teams like Fnatic, they've been together forever. Teams like CLG, known for their strong gameplay. Team SoloMid, known for their strong gameplay. And, you know, the teams with the captain, CLG actually not really having a captain. We've talked about that before as well. And sometimes that's where their game falters. So, you know, Pacific looking to only build and get better. And usually you learn the most from your losses. So they're really going to take that in consideration as a grain of salt and come back stronger next time. They were qualifying, and in their category, in their teams, the teams they had to play against, they actually swept it.
Yeah,
so we can tell that, you know, the global skill of League of Legends is definitely different at this point in time. These teams aren't really able to play against each other. Hopefully in the future we can connect some sort of space teleport portal wormhole that these guys can play with the 9 ping over a global interface. But as of right now, they're pretty much constricted to that area. So the strategies, the metagame, the entire game that you're going to see is a lot different, and they're not able to pull out the strategies that a lot of these teams have, or the counter picks to these teams. You're able to watch the team's games, you know, on a stream, but it's always going to be different when you get into the game, depending on what you bring to the table.
Absolutely. And there is still a big difference in European and North American meta. Let's not forget about that at all. I mean, the reason I believe why the game of Epik versus Fnatic went so close yesterday, the second game, was that Fnatic, when will they have had the chance to ever play against a top-level Blitzcrank before? They didn't. There is no top-level Blitzcrank in high elo. If you select Blitzcrank in Champion Select, there's going to be rage quits. A lot of rage quits.
I will take 20 elo for you.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, they had no idea what to expect. I mean, they're pros. They can adjust to it. They can, they know what skill shots are. They know how to dodge skill shots, but they have no prior experience with a skill shot that can turn an entire team fight around. There with one single skill shot. That big robot grabs you and pulls you in, and that's it. I mean, you're dead. And if you're the carry or the AP or AD carry for that team, that's just, you know, that's going to be a team fight for you. And they are just not used to playing against that. And that's still a big factor. And I mean, AAA have been amazing with their perfect play. And I don't want to just say I don't like AAA. AAA are a great team, but I'm still going to root for whoever wins this game, because I want to see a North American versus EU Grand Finals. And I believe we have some more information for the audience. Do we, Remington?
Yes, we do, actually. They let us know the plugs in the backs of the laptops these laptops are quite powerful, and they require quite powerful power supplies. So sometimes they tug, they move, and his laptop was unplugged. And then when he got into game, he went to plug it in. If you know a little bit about laptops and Windows 7 and whatnot, that it will change the scheme of what your colors you're using, and once in game, upping that color scheme and upping the way that Windows views itself is what was lagging him in the game. So obviously, you know, not even the hardware this time, but just those little here's and there's that can really nip you in the butt when it comes to it. So we found then resolved the issue, and we're going to have this game going in right now. They are all into the game, and we're going to see how this one goes. We got the splash screen up, and the players loading into the game already as back in, and 110% to go.
I wonder if we're still going to get an applause from the audience after all of this waiting and all of this remaking. I mean, I'd understand it if they are tired, if their hands are hurting right now, but honestly, I already know what kind of amazing clutch game we're going to see here, and let's just take some motivation from the future. Let's do some time traveling here and get that motivation, and very, very soon we're going to be loaded into the game, and I'm going to ask you all to give us a third round of applause for these two teams. Please give it up for TSM versus Epik Gaming. You take it.
I bet you they're going to jungle invade.
How, you think?
No. So let's see what they do on this one, actually. Ping's going out again, and we can see him going for both bushes. They're like top, maybe bottom. You can see both of those pings going out on the map. One towards the tri-bush, as I like to call it, up top, and one towards that bush right above Dragon towards the purple side.
That is a smart ward right here. So this... Oh, look at that. And Epik see all of TSM moving through these brushes, and if they wanted to, they could decide to take this fight now because Annie is still in base, but they didn't make that connection. That's unfortunate. That could have been a 4-0 right there, or 4-1 maybe, even against Alistair and against... Oh, please don't tell me.
No, they're just going back. They want to get back to counter this one this time, and after knowing that they didn't see anything there, they're kind of playing a switch-up game on a little bit of a rotation here. They know that each time, third time's a charm, they have gone for the blue, so they're going to do that again, but this time they're going to rebuttal on it, and they're going to try to get themselves in that bush up top by where Baron is just a little before. We'll see what they can do.
This was our plan all along. We just faked those hardware issues just so we could have that better game play out for you. This is basically they're scrimming in a fast-forward way. And wow, who are they going to meet here? Oh God, I'm scared.
They're on either side of the wall of each other right now. Westrice, however, walking into that bush still. He's going to see them before they get into the bush. Westrice is so close. Andy with her stun up. Will she be able to get the stun off? The flash out. The great silence coming out of the hands of Salsi. And it will begin as a first level fight. But it looks like everybody is able to get out of there alive. A very nice job. And with Reginald being very aggressive here, he's saying, no, Dan, you are not going to go for these golems. He was able to pick up Dan's golem. Silence onto Reginald, taking a lot of damage from Salsi. And it looks like power and numbers, they still choose to back off. And a very nice aggressive first level fight coming from both teams there. A lot of flashes expended though. We have Chaox is down, we have Rain Man's down, and Xpecials is down as well. As Salsi was really the only one with Westrice that had to use theirs.
Yes. And I just have to say, aggressive Reggie is aggressive. That is still true, that has not changed, and I really like that playstyle. He's just, it's great fun to watch. And that Anistan almost caught the one they were trying to catch, which was obviously Westrice. So just basically called Salsi by the edge of it. But he was safe enough. I mean, he had to flash, okay, but he was so far away that he could flash to safety, and they couldn't flash after him. So close one.
Yeah, we definitely have to call attention to the huge four-man silence out of the hands of Salsi. He was in that tri-bush. He definitely shut down a lot of everything that could have happened. More flashes could have been expended, and it would have been a totally different team fight. They would have been able to catch Dan in the jungle a little faster off guard. He's now going for his blue. It looks like Warwick is able to move through the jungle, a very fast jungler. Doesn't really have to worry about his HP too much because he is able to get that first sword and do a lot more damage. A clairvoyance going out there, or a smite rather, on Nunu. I don't know why I said clairvoyance, to tell you the truth. And they are pinging it from TSM side right now. SoloMid knows that he is there. The timing of what happened, they're saying he's probably finishing up, so we'll know it. And there it is, the clairvoyance from Xpecial, able to see Nunu Din walking through his jungle.
That was good timing, but it didn't really give him much of an advantage. It confirmed that he's not running a gimmicky, strange jungle route, but it also did confirm that he's not going to go aggressive on level 2, which is, or level 3 as the case may be, which is absolutely an option that Nunu has, and that sometimes people say he should do, but he starts taking a lot of damage from Reginald. Reginald also taking damage to lane.
Wow.
Pretty much even still, both down to their last health potion already though. There is a lot of aggressive play from both sides here. And these players will have laned 1v1 mid 100 times against each other. Not just in all those scrims, but on all those solo ranked games. I'm sure these two have met each other so many times. Nunu coming top now, I'm not sure what he's hoping to achieve. The lane is really, really pushed. There's not much you can do, and he doesn't go for it. He wards. Star is very good of him.
And we're going to see, Rain Man using his mana up quite quickly down bottom. Westrice able to push that lane, but he's, however, is not going for the attacks. He does not want to draw aggro from the minions and take any unnecessary damage for Rain Man to really activate on, or initiate on, I should say. And we see 3 going towards mid here. Will they get the flash on to this pulverize? No, he goes for the headbutt first. The pulverize up. The stun coming from Annie as well. There it is, the disintegrate. Will they be able to do the damage? Dan trying to take a little bit of the brunt, and he will. A very nice job by Dan acting as a shield there, and taking the kill. Skills that would have come. Tristana coming down bottom now. Dan turns it around. Can the odd one be caught off guard? He does have, as I call it, the plaid buff, rolling with the red and the blue as they're on top of each other, and he's able to, all the players are able to get out safe and sound. Tristana now to get to her lane, losing a little bit of experience, but it's not really going to affect her too much, as it looks like still wanting to focus into middle here, going for Annie. Dan taking a lot of damage there, and Annie almost getting another stun up. The rocket jump in from Westrice. Odd one getting caught a little bit out of place. The ignite will not take him down. He has a good amount of health there. However, down to 100 health on that one. He still has red buff, but it looks like he's going to have to waste a little time on that as he blue pills back to base.
That was also not such a bad move from Annie, from Tristana going
Right.
mid, because she wants the lane to be less pushed, and this is one way of doing it. She did lose some farm, some experience, but now her lane is pushing in the right direction for her, and that means it's now opening itself up to ganks. Obviously, yeah, you don't really want to gank Jarvan. He can just flag toss out of there, and he's going to be fine for the most part, but we have seen how amazingly strong those Jarvan laners are, and you know, I am a child of the EU meta, and I see Jarvan on lane, I say, really? Not a jungle Jarvan? It's just strange to me. Maybe setting up for something here, bot lane, especially in the bushes. He does have his flash up.
Yes.
So if Dyrus and double lift come out to a bad position, he could punish them for it. Dyrus heading out a little bit, but not quite far enough there. I'm not sure if they know that he's there. I'm not sure if they can
Chaox is farming his minions, but he could definitely pull down a little bit, go towards the bush, and I think that would draw Dyrus and double lift out a little bit more. There's the clairvoyance down from Janna, making sure that X Special is not in the bush. Looks like they are able to back up, and Dyrus will take a chance to double up on that and do a good amount of damage, about 250 to 300 HP off of X Special. He'll be able to E that back up to himself. His E is that heal. There's a few of it right there. And recent updates to Alistar actually causes him to trample every time he goes into a skill. So that's going to add a little bit more damage if you're really pulverizing and right in the middle of a fight. A very cool effect that was added to him recently.
It was added mostly to make him viable in farm, because before that he was the worst farmer in the game. And, it's just true. Worse than Soraka when she has a star call and everything. But yeah, he is not going to use it on minions. As you can see, he's playing a nice European support, sitting at a 0 creep kills here. This is exactly what you want to see. Giving all this gold to Corki, who is just, I mean, Corki is, like we said many times, the best farmer in the game. He is just going to spiral out of control. Get that Trinity Force or that Mana Mune on him. That is just going to be so powerful. Nunu coming in top while Westrice goes home to buy. Let's see what he's going to buy for himself. And yeah, double Doran's plates.
Ooh.
That makes it, I missed a
down the bottom, yes indeed. Reginald's drawn first blood onto Janna. Apologize for the missed attack there, and it looks like they pushed off Dyrus. He had to go back, and he has bought. He went to buy more Doran's blades, and the first blood will come out in the hands of Reginald. Not somebody you want to get that first blood. You do not want Annie to be any more bursty than she already is in the beginning of the game. She was waiting with that stun up. You can see that ring around her waist as it shines, and that means that her passive is every 4 skills she's going to pop up that stun, and she's going to be able to use it. Dyrus, or Salsi rather, was going to go down bottom, but it looks like she's going to go back to middle, contain, gather up his XP, and that is a very early tower at 8 minutes and 30 seconds for TSM.
TSM taking an early lead here in this game. What I want to say about Annie, she definitely teleported into that water. Teleport is on cooldown right now. So that was maybe TSM learning a little lesson from AAA. Well, they obviously know about teleport ganks as well, but we have seen
a lot of harass from Westrice up top.
Oh yeah. That, well, it's still Jarvan, you know, he's still going to be safe, yeah. We have seen AAA run a couple of really amazing teleport ganks this tournament, and yeah, that puts TSM in the advantage though by more than 1,000 gold already.
It looks like Westrice throwing down some wards. He does have the red for his team. A very nice job there. You know, Nunu going around the jungle is one of those characters that can donate the buffs, you know, as much as he wants to. He doesn't really need him that much. He can continue to go through the jungle. It looks like Alistar, Special pushing in here. He does find one. He dodges the null zone going down. He will not get silenced, but he does get suppressed here by Salsi. Will they be able to take down Special? He's going to get the pulverize up, and he comes around, puts herself in the bush to block the vision, and they may be able to get this dropping timbers out of double lift, and he will be able to take him down. Another Q coming out of the hands of Reginald. Salsi looks like he will fall, flashing away. He has no mana to help himself. Maybe get a silence down to assist his team in this fight. Dinh also expending the flash, and it looks like they will be silenced right there to kind of slow down this team fight and recuperate on what just happened. They did lose Janna. She will not be able to heal. She is level 5 anyway, so she was just trying to get herself out of there. Double lift, that is, not she, he in this case, and he will be back into the game now to assist his team. We are at a 2-0 in favor of TSM there, and a very nice move by Annie to read what Special was doing and instantly follow him down.
And as we just saw there, as I double-clicked on Annie's portrait, he did, Reginald did, level that Q over everything else. Q is at 4 here. I was told on the forums to check that a little bit more often. Obviously, the shield, not the best spell in the game for Annie, so she's going to level her Q and her W. And that Q, that's putting out a lot of damage there. We nerfed the base damage recently, but it's still really powerful. On Malza, I expect an E probably leveled up highest. Yes, there you see that's Malefic Visions. That's a very, very strong arrest spell. And oh, Epik is setting up for Dragon. That could get them back into the game. TSM sees Salsi here. Salsi available for kill.
Wow.
Ghost again. Wow, Chaox going over the wall. Salsi exhausted and surely going down here. Yes, very nice. And that is the... They're still going for Dragon though. Wow, and no, they did not see the Dragon, but Nunu goes down and that was not worth it. Wow, Westrice fails to jump over. Does the manager jump, fails to flash over, I was going to say. But that means that now TSM can probably take the blue. Reginald still looking for a fight. Wow. Aggressive Reggie is still aggressive.
He did have timbers and he could have dropped that there, but I don't believe that was his pyroclasm was up. He was not able to get the stun on that one. So it looks like they will just make their way out of there, giving that to Warwick actually. And we'll see how Odwin uses that to continue around his jungle. Let me get my Fog of War back to normal. There it is, seeing both teams, and Xpecial will start to back right there. We have Dyrus and Salsi in mid. It looks like Salsi pushing up quite hard here. He wants to get possibly a Malefic. Oh no, slowing down the lane a little bit, so his push is a tad more, and that's going to help him out. Tristana up top to clear out her minion wave and push it forward to the middle of the lane where she will want it. And we see Salsi, and now versus Rainman is the top lane is free for Tristana to farm. And he has now gone down bottom. Reginald is going to back using his recall. And it looks like Nunu just making his way around the jungle with Blood Boil, doing what he can. He has a free spell up around again. That spell around the waist usually means a character has an ability up. Nunu's is a free spell, Annie's is the stun. I don't really think you see it much more than that.
And Salsi out farming Tristana, Reginald on Annie here in his lane on minions, but Reggie really out farming Salsi on champions there. That is going to be a lot of gold. Each champion kill is worth about 10 CS, 10, 15, depending on how much gold the champion is worth at that time. Interesting choice on the Nunu to go for the dodge. Wow, he jumps in with the argument.
Reginald, very nice job.
Nice pick up there. I was going to say, of course you don't want to ulti Tristana, she just jumps out, but yeah, there's an Annie waiting on the other side, and that's not going to end well.
That was a very nice job. Doublelift being all over the map, and he's doing a very good job of trying to support his team, but his stuns, the pop-up is just a few seconds away every time. He almost got it down in mid, or near the dragon. Wasn't able to help. We have a lot of action going down in mid. Xpecial taking a good amount of damage. Malefic Visions is on, and he's also taking that bleed from Dyrus. It looks like Chaox will come in and Valkyrie in to stop this minion wave from pushing forward. A lot of damage coming out from the Gatling will just shred through these minions, and he will be able to push it back as Malefic Visions trying to do the same thing, vice versa for Malzahar, as he wants to keep that lane there. He likes the attention that that turret is giving the minions as they come in and not allowing that mid lane to farm. However, Reginald is all over the place getting kills that he needs, so he really doesn't have to worry about farming creep score in mid right now. He's just able to get all the money from the kills, and all the more better, because that just makes the momentum of your team build that much more.
Absolutely. He is going to probably save money now and go straight for the death cap. South needs to be careful here. Reggie can probably... Nah, he cannot burst him down. He does have 2 Doran's rings on that Mazda as well. Xpecial, again, with very aggressive positioning, but he can afford it right now. 5-0 for TSM. Almost 4,000 gold advantage. It's not looking good for Epik, even though I'm rooting for them. I'm not rooting hard enough for them, and I think the problem is that Doublelift did not get his Blitzcrank. That's what I'm saying here. That's the problem.
It's like the flag toss going down up top. Not too much going to come from that. Just trying to do some damage to Westrice right now and back him off of this lane. Rainman actually has it where he wants. He's not really doing much, but going for the last hits at this point. And it looks like he's going to, get that one, understanding where the minions were going down. We see Annie now walking into the jungle. Yes. Reggie is trying to go for something here as Tristana's backing up, but I believe she's going to go up. And Reggie's proccing his spells here so he can get that stun up. Do they know that he is there? The clairvoyant's possibly down. Will he be able to drop Tibbers? And he does, but they both jump out of it, a flash out. And a very nice job from the hands of Dinh, and the rocket jump coming out of the hands of Tristana as Westrice, and they're able to avoid that fight right there. Jarvan could have made it there in time, but I think it would have been a little too late anyways. A valiant attempt by both. We now have a 3v2 in mid as they begin to push this tower. Epik now has Tristana and Doublelift, that's Westrice and Doublelift coming in to congregate in mid and help him out a little bit. We see the odd one now just trying to take these down. We're going to take a good amount of damage on this turret as Chaox is not being pushed around, and he's just standing back there.
And almost leading the forest, almost. Oh, especially going in for the power rise. Flash, Annie coming in from behind. Does she have a stun up? She does not yet have a stun up yet. Oh, that damage is enough. Death is the best stun in the game, it's a fact. And Salsi barely pushing him back from his turret as Westrice arrives just a little bit too late. The Rainman changes his mind about going mid. No, he doesn't. They could probably push this right now with Salsi being so low and Jana being down, but they choose not to and allow Epik to push. While, oh yeah, they had to back. Okay, they were a little low there. Great job once again from Reginald, who's now at 303. Probably going to carry again, and when are we going to see the first Annie ban this tournament?
You know, I don't know. It's just that burst that can initiate such a big fight from such a long range, and then she can continue to do damage, and in just a few more cooldowns, initiate another stun that she can use, and she's just such an effective character to have. She can also build somewhat tanky, and usually doesn't take that much damage right off the bat. She does have that shield she can use, which reflects a little bit of the damage as well. So all around, amazing abilities on Annie, and is definitely should be one of those focused characters, as you said. But when will we see the ban? Will they allow Reginald to continue to play like this?
Because currently, as we just saw with the blue buff, Annie having a 5-second cooldown on both of her abilities, and they both scale really aggressively since the recent changes made to her. That just means that, oh, and Tristana going in there super aggressive against Reggie, but Reggie doesn't take any damage from him, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll kill you before you kill me. That was just enough damage there. Wow, that was a showcase in knowing exactly how much your character can take. I was worried there. If I had been at Annie, I would probably have run and died. Dragon going down currently for TSM. Epik are getting in position now to steal it. Oh, they get a little bit of it.
Wow.
Oh god, that damage. Yeah, just not enough. That W1G18 didn't channel for long enough at all. TSM in a commanding lead now, 80-0 kills, 23 to 18k gold. Wow.
Special taking a lot of damage from that null zone, and a very nice silence from the hands of Malzahar. Salsi doing what he can to prevent these four in middle from really taking his turret. You're going to be able to wipe through these minions quite quickly. They have a minion wave behind them, and it looks like this mid turret will go down unless Malzahar can avoid, or can actually throw down that null zone, doing a very nice job there, but can keep them off with the silence if they get any closer. And it looks like you just use it right there. You're going to be able to clear up that minion wave and actually save the turret. Both mid turrets are extremely low right now, and Jarvan up top farming himself away, trying to get that creep score up. He has actually bought an Oracle's quite early in the game, maybe feeling he can do the damage he needs right now. TSM very strong in the game, knowing that Epik is going to be down in money, so if they do place any wards and try to gain ground, they're just going to shut that down.
Absolutely. And TSM debating whether they want to go home or stay and defend this turret. Indecision is always a problem in a game, just like as it is in casting. If you don't know what you're doing, you are wasting time. You're going back and forth, back and forth. You need to commit to one course of action, and the course of action seems to be 100% aggression.
Oh wow, Annie dropping timbers right onto Salsi. Salsi goes down onto the turret, or right under the turret, I should say, and this turret will go down. Westrice kind of just thinking it out. I have Blood Boil, I want to do something here, but it looks like they're going to stick together with Nunu. Dinh right next to that turret as well. Another kill as Salsi is put back down into the graveyard, and he will be back in 20 seconds to help his team out. 3 in middle now to defend that turret. It looks like they will back up. Dragon should be up in the next 4 minutes, so they'll be able to make their way to that. And it looks like they are going to again give red buff to Tristana or
death cap. Yes.
MF here.
Death cap for Annie. Yeah, that is probably not something that Epik can come back from.
Right.
So that's a 19-minute death cap. That is really, really, really fast. And on top of that, he has level 2 boots and 3 Durance rings. So I'm saying round 1 probably going to Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, TSM looking very strong in this matchup. Their blue buff is up, and I think they should go for that as well right now. Annie does see that she is kind of walking by it, but there may be, she's kind of considering. There may be somewhat of a team fight here, but she is going to go for that blue buff and grab it, as it looks like it's special. And there's the odd one to help her out there and give her a little bit more damage. She is going to try to get that stun up on her so she can walk around with that. Yep. Getting it, not getting the stun, but that's all right. It's still going to be the same. She's only going to have to use, I believe, one more spell to go into that and see what she has on her right now. And it looks like, yeah, she only needs a few more as they move to top lane. That turret is already gone. It is 3-0 in the turret game right now in favor of TSM. They've been doing a great job. 9-0 in the kill game. 20 minutes into this, and you just said Annie grabbing that death cap. She is 5-0-3 with 107 creep score. Corki leading the game with 149. That is Chaox, and his team right now doing very well as they start to roam around the jungle, or rat pack as I say, together. Power in numbers here in the river, and it looks like TSM will really wait for a mistake from Epik right now.
And, well, I don't believe they need to wait for a mistake. They're currently waiting out the lanes. They're going to probably push the lanes, see if they can take another turret safely, and at some point just force the Baron fight. And that's... Epik cannot give them a Baron on top of all of this. And right now, Epik really needs to hope for a mistake from TSM, actually. They're splitting up right now. Don't think Epik has the damage to force a Baron fight. That would be one option, but Annie's like, I'm going to go and farm those minions. Nothing's happening at the moment. Epik wanted to, they could go and force the Baron now, but Annie still has the teleport, and it's almost up, very, very nearly up there.
Oh,
so,
wow, the whole entire team moving towards Annie right now. You saw the pings going down, starting to invade the jungle. It's going to be all four, and Malzahar following actually quite far behind, and the initiation early could hurt if the rest of SoloMid is able to get down there in time. Annie's staying very pushed out. It looks like they're going to dive right onto the tower for this.
And she has no idea this is coming. She needs to go to bushes, teleport out very, very quickly. What is she doing down there? The entire team is missing. And they may be setting up for Baron, actually. Let's have a look at... Oh, they're going back. The Baron threat. As we were watching there from Annie's point of view, she didn't know what was happening, but she believed herself safe under the tower. And yeah, Epik didn't go for it. I believe that was a mistake. They could have killed her. They would have lost Baron, but at this point, shutting down Annie may actually be worth it.
Yeah, that's going to be a good amount of gold for them. She's going to be worth at least like 555 or plus gold at this point in time with 5 kills under her belt. Looks like we're going to have some blue pills. They're going to get back and get some more items. We'll see what MF gets. Probably possibly a BF sword here, as she does have Zeals. She has just sold an item, and there it is. Yes, grabbing the BF sword. So that Zeal proc with a little bit of crit. She has a lot of movement speed, especially with Strut. If she's out of battle for a certain amount of time, MF can just fly across the map and really start to assist the team. Top turret is going down here. Great lane control by TSM right now. All their lanes are pretty pushed. They have all their turrets still standing, and Annie still to go down bottom and continue that split push.
Yeah. And Annie not the quickest split pusher in the game, but at this point she could probably wipe her minion wave with her E. And yeah, she is gonna push there.
Damn.
And they need to decide what to do here. Yeah, exactly. There it is. They really need to decide what to do here. Split push is always an ugly situation, but the odd one actually porting back, Jungle King, he is, well, that means they're not going to commit to a split push. And TSM currently, I would like to see a little bit more decisive play from them, but you know, to be honest, well, like I said, it's the question of, are we going to go home with $7,000 or are we going to have a shot at 50K? And you know, I'd probably play it safe as well, to be fair.
I actually think TSM is very comfortable with their play right now. They are causing Epik to not really have a lane to go to, really giving them the run around. They go to top, they lost a turret, they don't get any advantage from that, they didn't get any kills, they're really not able to farm. You can see that minion wave is still just battling it out right next to that turret as Andy was able to split them up. Now they're in mid, and it looks like we have a forced fight here. Dinh going to be the first one to go in and initiate. Salsi probably trying to do as much damage as he can, but he's quite far off on the battle, and we're going to have to see the Q or the Ice Blast coming out at the odd one. A lot of damage coming out, huge damage onto Dyrus. Will he go down? Standing in the ultimate, a double lift, able to take a little bit more damage. Tristana also falls. TSM just absolutely thwarting what Epik thought they could do into that fight. The clairvoyant's going down as they flash over the wall. Dinh also falling to the ground. Salsi the next target, or they will see double lift. A nice silence coming out there, but it did miss Jarvan. They are kind of split up in who they are targeting at this point in time. Does Chaox have the Valkyrie to get around? A miss and a very nice pop-up. They have Salsi in a 2v1 situation. Here comes the odd one, going out for the quick steal, and it looks like they're going to be able to take him down as he throws down the no zone to do what he can before he goes down. TSM on the ace as we are 25 minutes into the matchup.
Annie actually died. Reginald playing super aggressive, flashing over the dragon wall here, and well, they punished him for it. So that was a bit of gold, but if you look at it, more than 10k gold ahead right now. That's not something you can easily come back from. And well, Epik are all back at this point, so it's not going to be a free Baron from TSM on top of it, but they really don't need that anymore. Annie is sitting at 323 AP. That's just, yeah, she is going to be able to not just initiate a fight, but also decide it. If that tipper sits more than 2 or 3 people, that's going to be the fight right there. That's going to be so much damage. Then Epik don't really have those sustaining characters. They just have that Nunu in their team, and then the dual AD, which really isn't working for them.
So TSM now getting a nice clairvoyance down near the Wraiths of Epik, knowing that their red buff is down. They're kind of walking through the jungle and now forced to only farm in that situation. As I said, you know, a good rule of thumb, not to cross the river alone. When you lose that turret next to the river, that becomes an even wider zone that you have to stay back and play very careful.
Yes.
And right now, you know, Epik is in the extreme caution zone. They have to be very careful when farming at any point in the map right now. And it looks like we could have a Baron go for here. The clairvoyance is down. They do not see any wards. They do. I don't believe they have an Oracles. Yes, Jarvan still has one. He did not go down. And we will see this Baron going in favor of TSM. Salsi going for the silence. He will put that on Reginald, and he will see that they have grabbed the Baron. It's going to be a defensive setup now for Epik as they look to initiate this fight. Possibly they're waiting for the to come over the wall. There it is. Headbutt over the wall. Will they get the pulverize down? Dinh absolutely going down before the Absolute Zero can proc the full channel. And we are going to see the suppression onto Salsi. He is separated from his team by the odd one playing Warwick, and it's going to be a runaround right now as TSM continues to find people to take down. The suppression onto the odd one. Tristana trying to do the damage as he can, but an absolute wipe coming out of the hands of Reginald. Baron just being way too much for Epik to handle at this point in time. A very good job by both teams, but it was just really in the favor. Epik able to keep 2 alive. They were trying to do what they could to focus. The odd one doing a beautiful job of focusing out Salsi on that one and making sure that he could not suppress anybody within the fight. And it looks like they will be able to go for their first inhibitor turret here. Minion wave is actually far behind. No, it's right there, just kind of hanging out. And they're going to go ahead and face tank this one right off the bat, knowing they have the minions behind them. That's going to help them take out the inhibitor. They will start to spawn some super minions. Reginald doing good damage, kind of standing off to the side, not within the bunch. He doesn't want to get AoE by anything in this situation. Not that there is too much that can hit him.
Yeah, but did you see that AoE, that misfortune ulti in that combat in the last fight? Corki got hit by maybe 3 or 4 procs and he didn't lose any health. But that was the tamest misfortune ulti I've ever seen. That just wasn't scary at all, and that is the problem that Team Epik have right now. They have nothing that's scary. They have nothing that can put out that damage where TSM have to say, oh, we have to play cautiously and not get initiated on by that guy. It's like, no, it doesn't really matter who initiates on us. We're going to be fine. You
got to be very careful with how you build a character, especially crit. If you build critical and you don't have any damage, you're not going to be able to crit for any damage. You're going to get regular crits that only do about 10 or 20 more damage. Misfortune also being able to double up and get a little bit of crit off of that. So if you build a lot of damage ahead of time, focus your shots. Yes, you have to wait on your cooldowns, but right now she is running that blue, so that is going to help her be very effective in the fight to utilize her slow and that Q to double up onto the creatures and right off into the enemies if they can get it right onto one of them, and that crit is going to hurt a lot. You can see the flash over the wall, and Tibbers coming out here. Have you found my bear Tibbers? And he might come out, oh, suppressed through the wall, taking a lot of damage through the nose zone. Salsi goes down. However, Reginald was not able to drop Tibbers, but they are still able to come out with a fight. So, you know, it's not needed that Reginald needs to be in the fight, and that is even worse for Epik right now, because if the 4 members of that team can continue to push a turret, Epik really needs to change up the strategy right now and figure out who needs to be the front line of defense and where to put Tristana to really come out with the damage. You know, Dinh doing a very good job of helping to blood boil onto Westrice, but it's just not enough damage that they're looking for, as well as Misfortune. She does not have her 30 yet. The Jarvan ulti coming down, and it looks like they will have a pretty good fight here. Westrice making it out alive. He does have a bleed down on him. Will he take enough damage? He has the ignite on him, and he will not go down, just living with a sliver of health. And it looks like they will be able to take out their second inhibitor turret and their second inhibitor, spawning super minions through 2 lanes now. It is a 4v or 5v4 situation in favor of TSM if they continue to stay in the base of Epik at this point. And it looks like they will choose to back. They have a pretty good minion wave very close to that turret. And that's going to be another amount of global gold for them. 45,000 gold
46.
to 30,000 gold. 16,000 gold advantage right now in the hands of TSM. A 19-1 game on Epik, and they really early game outplayed them. That's not something that, you know, Epik needed right there, obviously. But it looks like it's going to play throughout the game, and they will not be able to turn this one around.
Just want to point out during this fight here, Annie did not even use a single one of her cooldowns. Nothing. No. She did nothing in the fight. They still wiped them super easy. Corki putting out a lot of damage there by himself, and the Rain Man with the 2 hearts of gold, Banshee's Veil, and the Atlas Impaler at 210 attack damage here right now. Crits are gonna hurt with that. So yeah, they have enough DPS right there. No problem at all, even without any. And then any, the 617 any. Wow, with Void Staff, Red Death Cap, and another needlessly large rod.
Yep, we can see the gold per 10 items really coming into play on TSM side. We've seen this before, where you're kind of like, where is it coming from? 2 hearts of gold on Jarvan, 2 hearts of gold on Alistar. Nunu trying to do the same thing, that is Dinh. But it's just not enough at this point. This is the part of the game where they're choked into their base. They cannot control the jungle. The mentality game comes into play, and it's almost that point where you're like, all right, we're going to stay in our base. We'll do what we can. If the win comes out, that's amazing. We can get it. But let's start thinking about next game. What do we need to do? Who do we need to ban? And is it going to be an Annie?
I would not be surprised right now. But the thing is, you ban Annie, you leave open Vladimir. Do you want to do that against Reggie?
Again, the Blood Mage.
Or you're going to leave open maybe a Malta for Reggie. He's very good at that as well.
True.
There's a lot he can play.
Looks like we have a bottom lane push here coming out of the hands of TSM. They will gather with all 5 members of their team. They have a minion wave right there. Do they choose to force the fight on this turret? Dyrus, or Chaox, doing a lot of damage onto Dyrus. It was just one ulti. There's the second one, taking a little bit over a quarter of his health away with just 2 of the ultis. Getting in there with the Gatling will be able to shred that armor of Misfortune. Not that she has too much. And it looks like tanking going on by Jarvan right here. He's going to take a few shots as they try to get a tick onto the turret, and they did do a bit of damage. These turrets will not reheal. Only the Nexus turrets will be able to do that. And as this next minion wave comes up right behind him, the Absolute Zero coming in from Dinh, and it looks like he was pushed away. A very nice ultimate coming out of the hands of Trist, able to get that out of there as Reginald moves in. A lot of damage going down. Special goes down. It looks like Double Lift and Dyrus have also fallen in this fight, and Special is the only one that has fallen for TSM as they now control the base of Epik. Nunu, the only one. Dinh actually being able to stay alive in that fight as he was pushed out of it initially, and we will see what they can do here as the first Nexus turret goes down. And Reginald almost face tanking that turret to death. Will they be able to get this one? It looks like the Warwick was on that second one, and here we go for the Nexus, and we are going to have your first game in favor of TSM.
GG indeed. Yes, that reminded me a little bit of the first game of Fnatic vs AAA. It was one-sided, I have to just say it. But remember what happened in the second game? AAA almost turned it around. Dominated that game. So this is not over. This is a best of 3. So if Epik win the next 2 games, they are going to move on. Whoever moves on from this one is going to face AAA in the lower brackets finals. And if they defeat AAA, they're going to go on to the grand finals to face probably the most intimidating team in this tournament, Fnatic.
You would say that.
I like
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Fnatic playing very well, but right now this team, Epik versus TSM, the brotherly love going down, and it really seems, Dinh could be a little shaken up about that. He did say it yesterday. He really doesn't want to play against his brother, and he does feel that they have the advantage with the amount that they play together, the amount that each other know their strats, and really Reginald's mentality about the game is just so much more meta, so much more about what's going on and how to solve that situation in the long run, as well as prevent it from happening. Very proactive thinking by Reginald, and it's really able to pull them out on top in that game of seconds. That game of League of Legends here at the Season 1 Championship. We're in Jönköping, Sweden. A lot of viewers going down. A big props to PaySafeCard for throwing up an HD stream, which looks like this. And Alienware for providing the laptops with. Been working great all weekend long. A little bit of a battery issue, not even hardware, so it's just the things that are kind of nipping you in the butt when you're least expecting it. The games are going well and strong right now. SteelSeries for providing some of the peripherals to help these guys out, and on the mouse pads. So we have this next game coming up, as we will get the picks and bans going soon. The teams are obviously going to go talk. We're going to have a quick interview as that gets down in the tournament area when they are ready for that, and the teams are done discussing what was going on. And like you said, just like that last game we saw, and AAA was feeling the same pain that Epik is feeling now.
Absolutely. And if we have a little time before the interviews, I'd like to cut to the score screen real quick and point something out that some people at home may not be expecting, because there's something very pretty here in the build that I'm just going to say it. I don't know if we're going to have the time to cut over or not, but there's a melody on the Warwick. Warwick actually built a melody. That's how good this game was going. So Malady is not an entirely wasted item on him, but it's like, yeah, I'm gonna build a aggressive Warwick because I don't need to tank anything. So the good the best build that you can run on a Warwick in any random game is just off-tank Warwick. People don't believe me when I say that, but I am now on TV saying it. That makes it true. Off-tank Warwick. And before I bore you with my Warwick builds, we're just going to cut over the interview right now.
Let's head to the tournament.
Hello, Carrie Bear here again. I'm here with Chaox from TSM. So we just watched them match up against Team Epik. They did a great job. You know, you guys had a really great, you know, match strategy. You guys going in pretty aggressive. Was that your plan all along?
Well, the ante with teleport is mainly picked up from AAA because they ran the Malzahar with teleport, and we're like, well, it's really good. And the Corki first pick, well, we know Westrice really likes the Corki, and they ended up picking Tristana, which they almost never run against us in scrims because we scrim a lot against each other. So we had to like do something new and fresh to try and catch them off guard.
Was there anything else that they picked that might have, you know, surprised you guys, or was it pretty expected?
Everything else was very expected, other than the Tristana pick, which did not work out.
Great, and you know, was there anything they could have done differently? Obviously, the game went extremely in your favor. You know, what could have Epik done to maybe turn the tide a little bit?
I don't know. It was so one-sided. There's a lot of things that went wrong that that's too much to list.
All right, great. So I'll let you guys get ready for your next match. Thank you very much, and back over to you guys.
That guy is amazing, and I know him from last year's DreamHack because last year we had a sneaky scout party here consisting just of 3 European Riot members, Elmia, myself, and Cape, who's currently manning the spin-to-win wheel. We just basically showed up here as players. We're just going to play some games here, right? And we had 200 summoners who somehow, well, possibly through a threat in the forums, but somehow found out that we were here and came to us, played games with us. There was a little ad hoc tournament, and that guy was hanging around the whole time. So awesome, awesome member of the community right there. So we are going into game 2. There's 2 people missing from the game still. What do you think? Can Epik turn it around, please, please?
I think Epik can turn it around. I think if they can go with more of their main characters, which they usually play, like we said, Chaox said, you know, the Tristana pick to come out.
Don't you mean Chaox?
Chaox, yes, Chaox. To be the counter to the Corki pick, and then having an MF as well. As you even said, the double AD, it wasn't really working out for him.
What does it mean?
It was something to experiment with coming into a game, and that's not something you want to do already feeling, you know, on the back burner, being able to play your brother. We heard Dinh saying yesterday, and I'll say it again I'll say it again, that he is uncomfortable in these matches right now.
Yeah.
Obviously playing to his full potential still and playing the game that he knows how to play, but you just have that gut feeling that's really in the back of your mind, especially after losing something like First Blood, especially after, you know, so many kills going in your favor. I think it was at one point at time it was 18 or 13-1, 18-1, and that's really not helping. There was so much gold per time going into the hands of TSM. They were up 16,000 gold at one point, and that's really not something you can come back from. Very detrimental.
I'm giving the go in chat right now. Go when ready, gentlemen. Very important to be polite to these players, obviously.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah, it was hard to get back from that, but I'm still hoping for it. Maybe if they leave Blitzcrank open and if Epik actually picks the Blitzcrank, because, oh, that Blitzcrank yesterday, wow. And as Freak pointed out earlier today, we actually have a couple of signs in the audience. That is pretty epic as well. I saw a TSM sign. As soon as we get another audience shot, I hope that guy is going to hold up his TSM sign. Beautiful Amumu on it. Not sure we can cut over to the audience right now, but we're going to have a reaction shot at some point, I'm sure. So I'm going to have to see if there's any big change there. One more thing about the dual AD. People have been asking me, why aren't SK here? You're going to make the connection in just 1 second. SK, the obvious third pick for Europe, one would think. But they were experimenting with their picks as well in the last minute. There was a lot of other things that didn't exactly make it a perfect qualifier for them. There was a bit of a lack of coordination in one game against Game, and after Game knocked them down to the losers bracket, they had to face Fnatic. And we saw today, Fnatic on their A game is not a team you ever want to face. So they lost a very, very close series to Fnatic there. And yeah, what they did, basically what they taught me after the game is like, we've been running dual AP for the last 4 months, been crushing FaZe with it, and then we go into the qualifier and we say, hey, why not try something new? Don't do it.
If it's a new counter of some sort, maybe. But if it's a new strategy, you're absolutely trying to try to throw your opponent off guard just because you can. It's really not going to work. The other team's still going to play their game to their fullest. They're going to play the characters that they know how to play and that they got picked, as we heard before. I believe it was Fnatic that said, you know, they have Suche had eight characters that he could have played. The rest of the team had about 6 characters that they could have played. So that's really what you need to be thinking about is when you're counter picking.
In the bands
it's going to be difficult.
Okay, you want to take this one?
Yes, definitely. We do have Zillion going down. That's going to be aimed at Reginald. And that's going to be a quick one. Akali aimed obviously at Westrice. So the first 2 big counter picks right there, or counter bans for the picks.
I want to see Westrice play Akali. It's just so much fun. He does amazing things with her, but well,
just flying around the screen. It's like he has wings.
And you know, Akali is this kind of champion who's almost dead. You're at half health. You're like, I'm gonna go in there and kill her, and she just turns around and you blow up, and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, sliver of health, Soul Shroud. Where'd you go? Gone.
Yes, Vayne again. Seems to be flavor of the month in America at the moment. Very, very strong AD carry. Hasn't caught on as much in Europe for some reason. But these are 2 American teams. They know what works in the American meta. And they just say, we don't want that Vayne against us. Vladimir, again. Oh, actually, again, banned by TSM.
All right.
I guess Salsi's Vlad is also very good.
Yes, for sure. That definitely caused a lot of people trouble. He's very good at timing his dives with the Sanguine Pool and being able to get out alive. A sliver of health left. It's one of those plays, as I've said before, that he knows the characters he's going against 110%, and we will see the Alistar ban there in the hands of Epik as a counter to TSM, or just the ban in general, so they don't have to worry about a roaming character.
Yeah, we haven't seen a roaming character in this tournament yet. It seems to be falling out of favor. Again, I'm not entirely as up to speed with the American meta. And there's the Corki ban. They're not going to leave Corki open for Westrice again. He was really strong on that. Sorry, no, was it on Chaox or on Westrice this last game? I'm not even sure.
Chaox had Corki.
Chaox had Corki. So they're saying we're not going to pick it this time.
Playing Tristana.
Right, yeah, exactly. We're not going to pick it this time, so we're going to ban it because we really don't want to see it on Westrice. I mean, the Tristana was very good, couldn't make a difference. Possibly could have made a difference on a Corki. Who knows? That means what's open?
Ooh, that's how they did it. They did have first pick on that, and I'm sure they are quite happy.
Salsi's going to play that. Salsi, famous for his Annie. That's one of the last summoner champion pairs I really want to see in this tournament, because I went into this preparing myself a little bit, and I wrote down the champions that each summoner in this tournament is famous for, and everybody in the US that I spoke to was like, Salsi's Annie, watch out for that. Amazing. And I haven't seen him on any in this tournament, I don't believe. So we're going to see him now. We're going to see what TSM picks up against that. They need a strong mid laner against that Annie.
Now we have 2 picks for Team SoloMid, Chaox, and X-Special now to pick their characters. We'll have to see where they go with this one.
I think he prefers Chaox.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So Chaox.
Just Freak coming over and give us the, you gotta say Chaox.
Tarek picked up as the support. A very strong support, as we said before. It's going to make for an aggressive lane, and there's the Nunu. These seem to be...
There's a lot of CC in 2 picks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a very narrow pool, though, of champions. Like the champions that seem to be considered viable, it's a very small number. We see a lot of repetition here in the bans and the picks. I feel it's a little wider in EU and even wider in an EU versus US match. Because there's going to be this overlap of where people don't really know, is this actually ban-worthy or not? Let's see what Epik picked next.
It's all up to Double Lift and Dinh here.
Blitzcrank, Blitzcrank.
Oh, well, you know what? That would be great. Why not a Poppy? Let's throw a Poppy in there. No.
Poppy would be good too. I'd like that too, but I want to see that Blitzcrank. Come on, who wants to see a Blitzcrank here? I'm sure. Yes, the audience wants Blitzcrank. Please, Double Lift, please.
You know, at this point, it would be quite good. You know, you'd shut down Tarek's healing. You'd shut down the absolute zero.
Absolutely.
Get that great AoE silence in. And Dinh looking possibly for a jungler to grab here, and we'll have to see what they pick. They are definitely taking their time on these picks.
4 seconds left.
And they do have 3, 2, 1. Ascend and MF. Dinh Trollolol is going to poison everybody and just run around.
No,
and
Dyrus is going to do it.
Dyrus, yes. Sorry.
Yes, so that leaves a...
Dyrus' main tank.
That leaves open for the last 2 picks a jungler and a Blitzcrank, right? Because obviously they can still swap around, and I really want to see that Blitzcrank.
So far, awesome team compositions coming out.
Oh, the
from
one
both
picking up
teams
an
here.
Ashe.
SoloMid picking up the hard carry on Ash.
That is hard. If the Ash arrow hits and Tariq gets in range, he can extend that stun for so long. And there's the Jarvan pickup.
Wow.
Jarvan, super popular still.
That's a lot of HP in the top 3 characters for Team SoloMid.
Oh, yeah.
So Reginald can pretty much do what he wants here, helping his team out with the pick.
Oh, do it, Raymond, do it.
Oh, wow.
Yes!
Oh, we are going to see our first Teemo.
Oh, God, I'm going to ruin my voice, but Captain Teemo and Freak's doing the fist bump jumping.
Freak is dancing back and forth in the tournament area right now. I don't think he can contain himself. I see tears coming out of his eyes. Multiple fist bumps.
Hey,
and
quick question for you at home, playing the Freak drinking game. If I zoom in on Captain Teemo, does that still count? I believe it still counts. So I'm going to do Freak happy here. I'm going to make him happy and just zoom in on Captain Teemo quite a lot. Raymond actually playing a really strong Teemo. That frozen mullet build that he usually goes for with lots and lots of Durance plates. Very strong build. Deceptively strong on that little yodel there. And of course, there's the Amumu, I mean. Okay.
That is a lot of tank.
Double is going to be on the Janna. It's a shame, but, you know, they probably want to win. I guess they want to win. I'm still not sure on the 7 versus 50 thing, but I think they want the 50. I think.
Yeah. Well, Teemo is going to be a pretty good pick against this team, obviously, just to harass with mushrooms around the map. That blind dart really affecting double lift a lot. Once they get into the fight, he's going to be, or not double lift, MF as it switches around. Double lift will not be playing MF, I shouldn't say it that way. So he's really going to have to focus MF, stop those shots from doing any damage. It's really going to be a big farm game for whoever is playing MF to get her AD up and be that champion that can help cut down the team.
Oh, there's the Jarvan.
They will go back to the Jarvan.
All right, that makes sense. Who's going to play the... Teemo's going to be played by Rayman, for sure. Reggie, he does it!
Oh, wow. Twisted Fate.
Nice. Yeah, they left it open. For the first time, it was left open against Reggie, and you all are going to get a lesson in why you do not leave Twisted Fate open to Reggie right now. This is going to be... This man is going to put on a clinic in how to play Twisted Fate.
I'm ready for class.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Taking notes. Very good. I hope you guys at home are taking notes as well. Very important to learn the game. Always take notes. That was awesome.
This is going to be a game to rewatch, and rewatch.
Yes. You know what I'm going to do when I get home? I'm going to have about...
I don't.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to have about 24 hours in Dublin between arriving and my next flight out, actually going flying home. I'm going to spend most of those 24 hours just rewatching VODs from this tournament because it was incredible.
Going to be in the airport.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, what is this guy doing?
Dude, totally worth it. I'm just going to nerd it out in public. This is just... Honestly, I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again. I would have lost my voice at home as well. This is just, wow. An amazing event, I have to say. And again...
Well, this can be the game you do it on.
Hearts to everyone at home for tuning in, for giving us those insane numbers. And we're not done, right?
No.
I'm going to say it again. Everyone here in Elmia, DreamHack, the finals are going to be tonight at midnight. Casted...
Yes.
Well, they're going to be played and casted here, but we're going to stream them into the Dream Arena. If you haven't been there, go check it out. It's amazing. It seats about 1,200 people, I think.
Yes.
And you should be one of those 1,200 people. You definitely should be. Just go there, check it out. It's going to be really great. And the audience, the atmosphere there, if something like a Teemo pick would have happened there, you would be deaf right now. I'm telling you that. And that's just a great
break the stadium
feeling.
seating. It'd be done. It would be done.
Pick up the chairs and smash them on the nail. Like, oh, God, they picked Teemo. Yeah. Why would you smash a chair on someone because I don't know. Right, we're launching into that
game. In the back of the head because somebody picked Teemo. That'd be the day.
That'd still be worth it. We're launching into the game right now. Epik are
Teemo
fighting.
As well.
Oh, God.
It gets cuter and cuter.
Nunobot and Astronaut Teemo. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Nunobot, of course, inspired by the great movies by Emigo. And I just... Even though I killed him, I love Nunobot. Oh, he's back anyway, so that's... I'm not sure what's going on myself, but I killed him and he's back, and I guess I'm killing him again. Oh, spoilers. Anyway, we are launching into the second game of Epik versus Team SoloMid here right now, and Epik are fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
If they lose, we're going to punish them with $7,000. If they win, they have a chance at $50K, and let's hear it for the two teams, Epik versus Team SoloMid.
I'm going to give him a hand, too. This is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
awesome. A matchup of matchups. Here we go. Brother versus brother. The Dins to go head-to-head and possibly what could be their final matchup here. TSM looking to move on with this match. Epik looking to keep themselves in this best out of 3. And that last match not looking good for them, so they're definitely not thinking about that anymore. As I said before, they just probably weren't thinking about that match for the last 10-20 minutes. What should we do for the next game? How are we going to counter them? And you know, they did a very good job at it. They took Reginald's Salsi, or yes, they took Reginald's Salsi away. They took Reginald's Annie away, and now Salsi playing Annie. But he did grab that Twisted Fate, and we're going to see a little bit of the same jungle invasion. We'll see that it's somewhat changing. Ashe is going to go back. She's not really necessary in that fight, but the Clairvoyance is yet to be used. They're going to wait for these minions to really spawn because that's when the movement's going to happen for the buffs, and they are going to be used at around 1 minute and 55 seconds when those spawns, the buffs come up, rather. The other minions around the map are going to spawn around 1:30. And it looks like everybody's just going to go to a regular laning phase on this one. Nobody really wants anything to do with a big jungle invasion. They are doing a little bit of a defensive strategy on each other's side, but they're not going to be really pushing up too far at all.
Super safe here, both teams. Both teams really choosing paths where they will not be found by the other team. And look at that, even 3 people, well, 2 people babysitting Amumu here as he is taking the golems, which is not a jungle route I'm familiar with at all. I didn't know you could start with the golems as Amumu. I thought you'd run out of mana too quickly. And here they are babysitting the odd one as he eats that big old golem. That's of course the standard route for Nunu. He has a very nice option right now of finishing that golem. I think the wolves were actually picked up. Yeah, the big wolf was picked up by Reggie. But normally if that big wolf was there, he could pick up the golem. And no, he's going to be level 2 from the golem. So he can't just go into the enemy forest at level 2 and counter jungle. I understand. That's why Amumu started with the 2 golems, because that means the standard Nunu counter jungle, he's going to be like, I'm going to eat your golems. And he's going, oh God, I'm going to be
very nice. He actually is going down for it right now. He's going to get there.
Man.
And he's actually choosing not to. Maybe going for the gank here. Click down to Westrice. They will start to focus him. Going for the Ice Blast. The Dazzle does get out. And they just hit him a little too far. And very nice damage on the volley coming out of the hands of Chaox. It's going to be Singed and Teemo up top. Poison on poison, if you will. Annie versus TF in mid. Salsi and Reginald going head-to-head there. Both level 2, doing very well in the laning phase. And Nunu's like, hey, wait. You countered my counter jungle.
You counter jungle. Wow, it's getting meta in here. I like it. But he's playing another that ward next to Red. And
yes,
Amumu, like I said before, is a super fragile jungler in his early levels. And if he goes to that Red and he goes low, and Nunu is anywhere near and he can blood boil over in time, it's not gonna look pretty for Amumu here. Especially in the forest, being super annoying each time that Dazzle lands. But yeah, Westrice like, I know where you are, I'm just gonna make you take some free damage. But obviously, Special doesn't really care about that. Reggie looks like he's pushing Salsi back handily, and the same for Teemo. Teemo's up. I'm still happy. I have to say that it's one of the most amazing animation in our game, the way that the Space Teemo walks. And it's just on this character, just on his skin that he walks there. And oh, Dyrus taking a lot of damage there from the poisoned laser.
Yeah, he is really getting hit down. That armor penetration that Teemo must have on, as Raidman must have.
Look at that. That is beautiful timing. Dinh coming back just as the dual golems spawning. And it's like, I know exactly how you counter jungle with me, with Nunu. And I'm just going to choose a route that's still going to get me to level 4 at the 4-minute mark. Yeah, he's going to be level 4, yes. Even though he was counter-jungled by Nunu, and Nunu attempted to counter-jungle him, he is out-jungling Nunu, and that is amazing. As a jungler, I'm telling you, you don't ever out-jungle.
Up top, we got Dyrus taking a lot of damage. It could be first blood here. They're flashing by Teemo, and it is going to be the fling. He did not save himself. And yeah, great job there as Rainman. Teemo able to pick up the first kill, and we will have to see how that plays out for the rest of the game. Astronaut Teemo, you know, first step
Reggie,
for Tiny
super
Yordles.
Aggressive. He saw Dinh at the red buff, and he's going in. He cannot steal the buff. Dinh has smite, but he can try to kill him.
Oh wow,
and get the
damage
double
being returned.
Is he going to be able to have the damage to kill him there? Actually, oh god.
Oh,
this is getting low. And
Reginald taking a ton of damage, double buff. Does he want to go back into it? He does not have vision. He goes to his other card, and Westrice coming out of nowhere. Will the attack be able to go down? And Reginald falls to the hands of Westrice. a very nice job as
Wow.
they come up to assist their teammates. Great calls they have going
And
on in communication.
Singe here. Oh,
Singe back
God,
into the
it's
game.
gonna get a
Going
kill on
down.
Chaox.
Chaox will go down as well. The poison coming out of the hands of Dyrus. Do they continue to go for Dick Special? Dick Special's trying to get Westrice with the dazzle within the range of the turret, but nothing going down there. The odd one actually quite low in middle, not really taking damage from Annie, but trying to consume, and he will get himself back up to a healthy position to continue to farm his lane. And so far, 5 minutes into this game, we've got a good one.
I have to point out that even though this looks good for Epik, they're still they are still 400 gold behind. I'm not sure how it's happening. Let's actually get the scoreboard up. Sorry about that. Yeah, it looks like TSM is simply farming better. And Singed, what is he doing? Singed, Dyrus, you crazy, crazy man. You're not even jungle. Why are you counter jungling?
Oh no, he's going to get pinched in here. Timo coming from the top, but it looks like Dyrus able to make his way down instead of go up top, doing a little slide through the river there. Yeah, Singe surfing through the river. And he's going to get back into his lane as we have Twisted Fate back to his normal position. Reginald takes his place back in middle. 5 on level 5. Salsi is also there. Level up to level 6 though. So now Tibbers versus Reginald being level 5. I don't know how close Reginald is on this point in time. And we are going to see back down bottom. Chaox is back into his lane. Level 4 is down there as a level 3 double lift and a level 4 Westrice are contending for that lane. Looks like Dyrus is just pulling that high. Trollolol Singed and just poisoning Timo whenever he can. Timo being like, I can do that too. Here's a little bit for yourself. Is Amumu coming in here to try and get the bandage toss, but no, to no avail. He does not.
Yeah, that Timo is probably going to dominate the lane though in the long run. I mean, actually, yeah, he's 44 to 36, so he is doing well. Dyrus again doing whatever Dyrus pleases. I mean, like Freak pointed out earlier, Singe chooses you to play him, and he tells you to do really strange things apparently. Ash out farming Misfortune heavily though, bottom. This is going 45 to 25. Not looking good for Misfortune, which is interesting because normally Misfortune is the stronger early laner. Rainman actually putting down his poisonous satellite dishes there in the enemy minions. Not catching Dyrus on this one. Dyrus actually poisoning the entire enemy wave nicely. He's now starting to possibly pick up full waves, and oh, look at that Singed play. Just turning on the cloud for one tick, and there's a gank coming in as Amumu is trying to get the bandage. No, just go straight for the ulti on Reginald. And wow, Reginald getting a taste of the tippers there. That sounds like karmic justice to me.
Yeah, very nice job so far, shutting down Reginald. They knew TF was going to be a problem. This is exactly what's happening to the other game where they were trying to shut down Nidalee as playing top, as we saw before in the previous games with Fnatic and AAA. So they're really focusing Reginald. They know TF is a very strong character and a really very strong late game character as well, being able to teleport globally all over the map and finish the kills that they're not able to get. So they want to shut him down early so that damage is not too immense, because we all know TF can just be that character that makes you want to throw every one of your peripherals against the wall and not be done with the game right away. So very nice job. The focus on Epik right now in the correct direction, and they're really coming out strong in this game so far. 3-1 with 9.8 to 10.2. The gold favor, however, in favor of TSM, but still anybody's game at 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're still out farming them, which just makes sense. I mean, Ash has that very aggressive Taric, which means she can just push Misfortune back whenever she wants to. Timo has the range on Singed. Singed, actually, a moment ago when we were talking, we saw Singed farming here. He is level, what, he's level 6 and farming on. Oh, Reggie coming in for the teleport gank, but not enough damage on Westrice. The arrow hits Westrice. Reggie almost dead, though, has to withdraw, especially taking a tower hit as well, and needs to go out. A nice gank attempt there from Reginald, but not quite enough.
It looks like they still got some pokes going down bottom. They still want to get those pings in. We can see it going down right onto the area that they were fighting. Big Special really wanted to get a dazzle down, possibly on double lift, as he was alone, but they were not able to do that. Charging up the stun, and he's going to go ahead and just pop those minions up. And yeah, it looks like we are going to get the first Dragon here, as they're not going to be able to contend this one. It is going to be a 3v1 on Dragon. Dragon not being able to do too much, but slow and damaged. So it looks like Dragon will go down.
Yep, that's slow actually. You should not underestimate it, that attack speed slow. And look at Dyrus again, taking the enemy raves with his poison because he can.
Wow.
Because he's singed. Oh, and he gets a trouble though. He's probably going to get away from Rainman. Yeah, Rainman can chase him through that cloud. That would not have been good.
Yeah, Salsi was right there ready to drop a Tibbers. We're going to see, yes, it is up for Salsi, and we'll have to see how he uses that. But it looks like they're still going to contend on this Singe. They know he's quite low. If they can get that Q down from the odd one. They will be able to stop him, but he is alting. He is going to gain back a little bit of everything here. He's going to regen health a little bit faster, and it actually looks like he's going to blue pill back to his base. No, he's going to stay in lane. Now he's blue pilling back to base. Thanks for joking with me.
These pros always do that. I don't understand it entirely, but they always start the blue pill and change their minds. They do it all the time. He knows we're watching. He's
well,
just
at that point in time, he knows he has a minion wave coming up. There's really no reason to go back. Grab the experience in lane. MF pushed up quite far in the bushes down bottom in a 2v1 situation. She doesn't really know that Ashe is going to continue to come back, and we see her start to back up there on the mini-map as she's just going to get the W's in and try and grab down some minions.
If you look at these pock marks here, though, in the northern jungle for Team SoloMid, that's all satellite dishes, and they are satelliting very important information back home. Anyone who steps in them is not just going to get slowed and damaged, but is also, well, as he steps in the vision, going to be revealed. And that is just, you know, Teemo's basically 3 wards right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the side range of wards, but, you know, it's the kind of ward that explodes. That's even better.
Not a problem for them. Again, more aggressive attack from the Rain Man onto Dyrus. Dyrus is just going to take that damage as a grain of salt. Not really doing too much to him, but still, it's going to kick you out of the laning phase a little bit faster, so he wants to prevent that as much as possible. Nothing really going on right now. Looks like MF is going to grab wet. We can see the vision on both teams there. And as Xenon said before, just a lot of those mushrooms is going to really partially ward that top jungle and allow them to know when everybody's invading. Dyrus was really enjoying that area a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he's not going to enjoy it so much if he tries to go back.
The odd one actually spending a lot of time here in the bushes. I think this is a questionable decision. Yeah, like, he was trying to wait for Dyrus to become aggressive, but Dyrus was like, this is a great time to go home. I smell a Nunu bot. And yeah, Nunu says, well, I'm not sure what I want to do. Nothing is really pushed. Nothing is open for gank. I could be around mid in case they want to be suddenly aggressive, in case Salsi wants to push forward. Now Dyrus is back. Now Nunu coming back top. That's a lot of lost time there. Is he going to actually make anything happen, though, in top lane, Rivington?
I don't know. Here he goes, going for the Ice Blast, getting him down. Will they be able to flash out? Or in on this one, there he is. Reginald coming in with the gold card. Do they have enough damage? And he is going to be able to ultimate and get out of this one. That last arrow is to hit, but the ultimate saving his life. The card coming in for Reginald on the last flash. Amazing job, as well as the ghost. A huge push there. They are pushing bottom lane, coming in with the ultimate. His ultimate actually missed on Ashe. Will he be able to get that Despair down? Another Tantrum, may be able to do it for himself. The Clairvoyant's coming down so he can see within the bush. Great job from his team. He definitely is able to take the damage of that turret. Especially is forced to back now, and they will give retribution to their teammate. Not the one that went down, obviously, but they will go 1 for 1 in the kills there. Actually 2, as TF has gone down a little bit before, as Ashe is also going down. So a very nice job by Epik to turn that one in their favor after losing Dyrus and focus on the bottom lane.
Salsi actually came in from behind there and took down Reggie, punished him for that very aggressive play, but still, that hurts, and that hurts the mentality of players as well. It's like, I didn't even go that far. Since maybe I've gone up this way, then Nunu came in, he thought he was safe, and then that beautiful, beautiful teleport from TF in. That's why you ban TF. He can turn any 2v2 or 2v1 into a 3v2 or 3v1 even, which is, you know, just a guaranteed kill right there. And yeah, if you have a player who has the map overview that Reggie has proven himself to have lots and lots of times, and it's just going to happen every single time that spell is up. And you need to have perfect coordination yourself to counter that.
So we can see Epik picking a few times towards Dragon. They know that Tarek has just set down a ward down there. That is special, trying to give his team a little bit more sight, as the top is really covered by the Rain Man right now with his Teemo, and just using his W to fly around here until he gets attacked. He's going to be able to move a little bit quicker. That's one of Teemo's abilities. Looks like a lot of action in middle here, but I don't think anything is going to come of it. Really just a lot of lane presence, and they're going to let each other know that, you know, we're ready to start moving around in teams. Level 11, the spread on that is level 11. The lowest is level 6 right now. Double lift, very much expected for the support to be a little bit behind, and I wouldn't even call it behind, in the position that they want to be in. Tarek is also level 6. That is special, so everybody really playing up to par at this point. 5-2 in favor of Epik this time. And like we saw before, AAA and Fnatic had an amazing second game, and it seems like Dinh has really gained his ground here. The confidence is back for Epik Gaming, and they are really going to take this one to Team SoloMid, hopefully into a Game 3 to keep themselves in this Season 1 championship semifinals matchup.
Joe, can I give you a piece of advice? Sorry, Joe, right? Joe Rivington. Can I give you a piece of advice here?
Advise me.
Never, ever, ever go through this river. Never,
I won't.
Ever.
Please, even while surfing.
This is hell. This is hell right here. Every step you take, you're going to be slowed down. And that's just beautiful play from Rainman. He knows he's safe, because no one's going to get there in time. He can just walk out. And Rainman currently at 123 creep kills versus 107 on Dyrus. Dyrus still not too badly, considering that he's laning against the ranged. He's using that poison really well to pick up a couple of creep kills. They may be setting up for a dragon sometime soon. It's probably going to be back soonish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like Team Epik is setting up in that general area, but they may be looking for a fight as well. Timo is actually building a Blood Razor. I really like that. Even though I think Rainman usually starts with the Frozen Mallet, the Blood Razor is great against champions like Singed, of course. Dragon being taken down now by Epik. They are probably not going to be contested on this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Looks like they may
completely
get somewhat of a
uncontested.
move in here in mid. Singed is going to go in. Dyrus initiating onto Nunubot, the odd one, forced to back out of that. And it looks like the ultimate is down. The dazzle going on to Dyrus, but Salsi will still continue. Oh, just dodging the aerial. Salsi backs up, so it hits Dyrus in the face, and that's exactly who you want it to hit.
Yeah.
They're still not going to be able to initiate. Rainman taking full advantage of everything that's going around the map. He's going to say, I'm just going to farm my lane, guys. I'm up here doing what I do. I'm Timo. I'm adorable. So we're going to see him being back now as Dyrus begins to come into the lane. That W of Timo. Oh, juked in the lane. Bushes, can't see me. I'm going to run by. Oh, just getting out of range of the flip. No, he does catch him because the ultimate is going to give him a little bit more speed. Will he be able to do what he can? The ultimate coming down from Dinh. Looks like they will be able to drop the Rain Man here. The damage being done by a full proc absolute zero. Dinh falls. A very nice job coming in by the hands of TSM, the odd one, to really shut down what was about to happen. It would look like the Rain Man able to make it out alive, and he just living by the skin of his teeth. Timo may have 9 lives as well.
Yeah,
You don't know.
Dyrus just basically just barely stepping past that mushroom, or I should say satellite dish, on his way out. That would have slowed him and possibly made him available for a pickup. Reginald, very nice play there, ported in very, very far south. He was like, I don't need to port in the middle of the battle. I don't know where Singed is going to be in a couple of seconds. He's crazy. He's just going to run around super fast with his ultimate. So I'm going to port in somewhere south, which is his only escape path at this moment. There's mushrooms all over the river. I'm going to port in south. He actually picked up a kill very early in that fight and was able to join from the south end. But still a slight gold advantage for Team Epik here, and 1 kill advantage as well. But I feel that as this game goes on, the Twisted Fate is going to be such a strong advantage for Team SoloMid. Just being able to join any fight they'd like to join, it's going to be very, very hard for them to find some kind of counterplay to that.
It looks like we may have a dive here on top of Westrice. We have Timo Rainman coming around the backside. He does have red. It's going to be backing. He's going to thwart that back. Going to try it again. Sees Timo coming behind, blinding Westrice, and he is going to take a quick shot on that one. Oh, no, not blinding, just going for the poison. He did not want to fully initiate on the fight. Reginald was like, I think we're going to back off on this one. We don't need to really push forward too hard. And Timo's going to return to his lane. I think Reginald's going to back here, and he's going to just continue to harass Dyrus with the red buff. You see Andy in middle getting kind of hit back and forth as the odd one comes in, not taking too much damage, just queuing the minions as they're about to die, which will not waste any mana. It quickly replenishes the mana used to do that. We do have Ash down bottom, Chaox farming himself up. Nunu will take the middle odd one for that is Reginald.
Reggie was unfortunate in that his minions had just been killed by the tower and his new wave hadn't pushed in yet. I'm sure he would have got in for the dive if there had been a minion to take the tower hits, but with him being at about, I think, 2/3 health, 2 or 3 tower hits would have made him available for a very easy pickup, and I think that was the right call on Reggie here. For once, aggressive Reginald not being super aggressive.
Right, looks like we got a few more mushrooms, aka satellites, going down. This is a legendary skin for Timo, so it does change up a little bit the animations. Obviously his run style, absolutely adorable. So we're going to see that coming into play with the skins. Not too many other ones on the map, but it's always great to see those. It makes the game a little bit more enjoyable. We're going to see a good amount of harass here, a lot of minions doing damage as well, since Dyrus not going to take too much. And it looks like Nunu's setting up for something here. No, he's going to be ward clearing. Going to go ahead and just go into these bushes. He's going to pop into that top bush, go back into his jungle, And it looks like a lot of roam going around. Not really roam, just walking around by Epik as they mill around the map at this point and try to figure out what they want to do. If they can initiate on somebody, they don't really have too much vision on where TSM is at this point because they are actually out of their lanes, so they don't want to make too many mistakes. They want to be very cautious about their play, and they're staying on their side of the jungle. As you see, Dinh just kind of walking around left to right, making sure nobody's invading too much. Going to go ahead and start on his Wolves, as Teemo pushing top still pretty well, able to take out that farm, and it's just doing a really great job of keeping the lane pushed, keeping himself in lane, and keeping that level up.
And just like we said, Teemo has his Blood Razor, while Ash also has her Infinity Edge. No finished Tier 3 items really on the other team, except for that Rod of Ages on Annie. That's not too bad right there, but it's not a huge jump in power. It's a little bit of a defensive item as well, so it's a good thing to buy. That's something else that people need to learn on low levels. Defensive stats multiply with attack stats. And why is that? Because the longer you are in a battle, the more damage you can do. So getting the Rod of Ages early on Annie is a very good call. The Death Cap first is somewhat sexier to watch, but it's not going to be the most conservative choice.
Yeah, it's definitely an expensive item, and sometimes you find yourself trying to go for that, overextending yourself a little bit too much to get the minion farm that you need, to get the kills that you need, and you just end up buying the pre-items for that, and maybe even lesser items if you have to sell later. Reselling or selling your items rather, just in general, is never a good thing. You're losing money, and you always want to be going for that goal item that you have set in mind, and that's just the way to do it. Rain Man now looks like he's going to go back down and continue to set up some satellites here somewhere else. He's getting really good vision. He's starting to evade with him a little bit, and that's exactly what you just really don't want, to run through your own jungle and continue to run through these. A ward being placed right down on him. Will they be able to take it out in time? And no, it just disappeared. But yes, actually they did. It stayed for a little while there. The bush kind of made it look like it was not dead. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 7 satellites in that river right by Baron.
Good
definitely a death trap.
coverage.
TF all by himself. Looks like they are going to ping on him, but Amumu doesn't look like he's going to want to go down there. He's playing very careless. Not careless,
they're
rather.
Not actually
careful.
doing a two-man Baron.
I think they will. They have Taric coming up. He's going to be able to help with a little bit of the armor. They also have Ashe as well. 22-minute Baron. We'll have to see what they're doing. They are going to start running through these. They go for the initiation right onto Annie. Sauce taking some damage there as well. Dazzled. He's continued to be stunned for at least 5 seconds there. The Annie, or Tibbers drop right in the middle of the Absolute Zero. Was not a stun and did not really stop the Absolute Zero. And we're going to have to see how much damage they continue to do. Rain Man looks like he's going to go down, but not before he can drop Saucy. He's still alive. The poison will be able to kill him on that one, and he goes down by the hands of Dyrus. Nunu and Ashe forced to back off of that. And it looks like, if they can just get there, Dyrus is coming very close. If we just continue to walk down, I think Ashe would have been forced to run out of that bush. Baron is still up. Looks like they were just able to poke him a bit, and it looks like this mid turret could go down in the hands of Westrice. He only has about 4 more shots from that turret to go off. 1-2 on that last minion, and he will be able to have to back off at about 300 health on that turret. So it looks like Epik does pull out something from that. They get a kill on both sides, but they are going to pick up Dragon. So really coming out in the lead with that instance. But overall, they are 7-5. Epik doing very well. So we could say that they have the lead. They have finally grabbed the money game. It is 30,000 to 28,000 in favor of Epik. 1 turret to none, again in favor of Epik. A very good game coming off of that last one that really could have shut them down emotionally. But, they pulled right out of it, and they are ready to go.
In hindsight, with the power of hindsight, I say that it would have been much better to wait just a little bit on a Baron attempt, wait for Reggie to get his ulti back. Because if Reggie could have ultied in there, that fight would have looked a lot more dire for Epik. And they could have, TSM could have picked up a lot of kills there and possibly even Baron. Wow, Baron entrance itself is now mushroomed. As Team Epik are setting up very near Baron, they don't really want to go for it. I mean, Reggie's ulti is up now. I'm not sure what they're doing right here. I think they're just clearing it out. Oh, nice. 2 wards placed right at the bottom of Baron here. And Baron is actually going to take out the second ward for them. Very nice of you. Oh, no, he's not. He just stopped. Like, nope. Going to leave that right there. That feels all right. That feels good. Nice and warm. So, TSM, a little bit aggressive there with that early Baron attempt. But they are still not too far ahead in gold. They're still last hitting so much better than Epik. Look at that. It's 186 for them versus 175, 165. That's really quite an advantage right here. And Timo building a wits end. That is very smart. He is always going to be attacking in a fight, right? He's always going to run around, turn around, attack. And these 4 stacks of magic resist that you get from attacking with the wits end are going to be extremely helpful to him. And the Rainman is known for his tanky Timo builds. This is probably one of his more aggressive builds that I've seen.
Yeah.
Usually it's like 2 or 3 Dorans into a frozen mallet. But that may still come. I mean, he still has room for a frozen mallet, even though he has a... Well, that's probably going to be Murky Treads.
That's the switch up of the strategy. The Rainman knowing, they are playing against a very tanky team. It's only going to get even tankier, so he's going to be able to shred that with the Modric Bloodrazor. Timo going back, the Rainman going back into the river to set down some more satellites. Bam, there it is. It looks like he has a few more to set down, but no, he chooses not to. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe.
He can only have 3 at a time.
Right.
So, yeah.
Focusing on mid, and we'll have to see what Annie can do to these minions, just able to take them down. I don't think anybody is going to pressure her in that situation. She has an MF and a Mumu right under her. Dinh with the Oracles, going to start running around and trying to regain map control. They do have a CV down on the blue. They go for the blue right away, and just in the lane next to them, I think they should have, somewhat initiated. Reginald was running back a little bit, but Nunu isn't going to be able to do too much for Reginald if they get in there. Once they have the stun, the fling, and he's able to drop it, and he does have her stun up as well. The bandage toss from a Mumu, and it looks like they're going to go all the way behind this one. And let's see what they can do with this as they continue to go into the fight. There is 3 to 4 there. He misses the bandage toss, so that's going to be a miss on that. He will not choose to throw off his ultimate. That would have been a waste of the Mumu ult. And very well done being seen by TSM that they were in a terrible position. Nobody was on the map. Look, a Rainman just kind of taking top lane over by himself. It's going to be a port in from the Destiny ultimate coming out of the hands of Reginald. They should be able to take down Westrice here, and a very nice job catching Westrice off guard. And those are the situations where you know you're not even extended, but the ability and the composition of the other team says differently.
Yeah, it's just the fact that no one of Team Epik was around there. That just made Misfortune kind of extended, even though she was in a really safe place, kind of, normally. But there was no one around from the team that could have protected her, so that port in was a very clean, very quick kill right there for TSM's Reginald. And yeah, like I said, this is why you don't let Reggie play Twisted Fate.
Yep.
By the way, do you know who plays an amazing AP, Timo?
Not until you tell me.
Shushe. He builds it Deathcap into Lichbane, and it's so much fun to watch. It's the last thing you expect from a Timo, and then late game... I
actually could have guessed that.
You could have guessed
I could have guessed that.
Late game, you step on a mushroom and bad news. And it looks like TSM are putting themselves back into this game in style. That teleport gank and that wonderfully thwarted push on bot lane there means that they are now only 300 gold behind Epik, and that is nothing at these levels, at these times. The next fight is really going to set the tone of the game. Whoever loses the next fight is going to be on the back foot, defending probably until the next real turnaround happens. And I personally predict that TSM is probably going to take it. I really like their setup a lot better right now. They have clear damage output, whereas Misfortune, yeah, if she can survive long enough, yeah, she can put a lot of damage with the Infinity Edge. But Annie is going to initiate and run away. Oh, Twisted Fate actually in trouble down there. Gets the Amumu out and he gets a stun, and wow, Topaz cleans it up. As I was about to say, if Annie can clean up right away, wow, then she's great. But in a longer team fight, there are other APs that do more sustained damage. And is Epik going to go for the Baron now? They could do it.
Being able to take out that TF definitely stops the Destiny. The Destiny can also help you see, and they're going to be able to flip Rainman here. Rainman stuck in the adhesive of Twisted Fate, Twisted Fate of Dyrus on Singed, and he does have the Rylus that is going to stack, especially with the poison. Just running through that is going to slow you down. The adhesive to slow you down even more, and we'll have to see what they can do as they move into the jungle. Feeling very confident about this. 10 seconds to really initiate on something. The Ash Volley coming through. Will they focus on the Nunubot here? He does have to have his Banshee's Veil broken, and everybody just gets away in time. No, the bandage toss on to Nunu, but it's just too far. They kited them way too close to the rest of the team, and they are going to have to back off on that, playing very cautious. But it looks like the reinitiation here from Team SoloMid. Will he get in the bush? The odd one is just waiting to proc that. Absolutely. And it just goes on and off, really just slowing down the other team to initiate and support this fight to happen. Xpecial taking a lot of damage. Reginald back in the fight as well. Xpecial goes down by the hands of Westrice, and that's exactly what you're talking about. They're not able to focus Westrice. He gets a double kill there, and it looks like they will be able to run a triple kill from Westrice, and it looks like he is starting to clean up Salsi being able to take a lot of damage from that turret. Annie with that shield on, as I said before, another ability that she has after being able to proc up the stun. She has her Q and her W to do so much damage, and then deceivingly defensive. A very nice job, and you called it. If Westrice isn't able to do the damage, Annie just missing as she Jana gets out of the way, and very nice reactions coming out of the hands of Salsi, and a very good turn of events here for Epik, and it looks like they are right back in this one. If they haven't been before, it was anybody's game, but they really just took the advantage.
Absolutely, and what happened there, I can smell that from over here. What happened there was Reggie saying, guys, I'm back, initiate, I'm just gonna ulti in, and that was absolutely the right call to make from his side. I believe 100% that fight could have gone for TSM, but unfortunately, like you said, they couldn't get to that misfortune. She was able to do all that damage, and then once they started running, you don't really run against this team combo. You don't run away from a Singe. That just, I mean, was he still alive at that point? I don't even know, but still, you don't run from this team at all. That Jana is going to slow you down and is going to toss you up into the air. The Amumu can catch you, Annie can flash in and stun you. And once that fight turned, because that misfortune could do all that damage, there was nothing that TSM could do anymore. Even though it was the right call, they lost this fight, and now it looks like Epik are actually slightly in the advantage. 2,000 gold ahead, and also 5 kills ahead.
They do have their lanes being pushed. Looks like they're going to go ahead and pick up a dragon here. That's going to help them a lot with gold. Nice job by Dyrus seeing that bottom lane being pushed out. They don't want it to reach the inhibitor turrets. Yeah, it looks like Reginald could be caught off guard here, and he throws out some cards. A great Oracle's Elixir already by Amumu. He's able to take down the ward, and he does not have any caution about going to the jungle here. His team is gathering together around him, power and numbers for this one, and they're easily just able to take that blue, going for the rest of the experience. They see that Annie is there, coming in, able to flash out, and Reginald using his ultimate, only to have Salsi expend the flash summoner spell, and it looks like they will have full control over this mid lane right now as they continue to just keep TSM pinched in. They do have a good amount of defense here, and it looks like the lanes are pushed enough for them to do something here before the minions really start to affect that bottom turret, before they even get close to the inhibitor turret on the top lane, and it looks like Epik is just even more and more better position. 43,000 to 40,000 gold. That 3,000 gold increase as that just a few minutes ago they were equal on gold. 2 turrets to 2, however, 11 to 6 at 32 minutes. A beautiful game right now between the Dins and their teams, and TSM, Team SoloMid, and Epik Gaming going head to head here at DreamHack. Just an amazing game we have going on, and hopefully into a game 3 for Epik to continue in the tournament.
And I believe it's really looking strong like a game 3 now. If they don't make a mistake at Baron, they were kind of looking like they were setting up for it. They could have killed it quickly, but there was too much from TSM around. Now TSM are actually backing, and oh no, they're not backing, they're baiting us. Very good. If they see the Twisted Fate bot, he does not have his ulti back yet. They could be going for Baron right now, but with Baron, they're probably not sure if they can actually take the 5v4 with Baron actually attacking them. Dinh going to clear out wards in Baron. No, he doesn't see them. He's going for the Raymond top. The Raymond, by the way, built a Guardian Angel. So yeah, he likes his tanky Teemo. He likes his tanky Teemo a lot. Still level 1 boots, but you know, gonna hit W, and yeah, why would I buy boots? I'm Teemo. And that cute animation can also run really quick. And oh, Epik setting up for nice aggressive positioning here. And I don't think, no, TSM have no wards here. I'm not aware of this, but nah, no.
Right, they could have actually, maybe not knowing the health on that turret, it is quite low. They probably could have just went in there and tanked it up, and they're actually going to, but helping with the push of the minion wave. Westrice getting a little close. He does take a shot, but it's not going to affect him too much. Looks like mid lane will also be pushed. They're going to go for a turret here. If there's enough damage down mid, and Dyrus does not have his teleport up, I don't think he should use it at all. That's a very risky situation, and your turret's going down. They're just going to over-focus you on the turret, and looks like Epik is going to just walk right past Dragon. They are going to walk past, obviously, their ward. Seeing one in this bush, Amumu will be able to take that down. A great ward control right now coming out of the hands of Epik. Usually it's TSM to really be warding the entire map. If we look down at the buy list, we can see Team SoloMid with actually 4, 7, and 8 wards in the inventories across the board. And we have 1 ward on Jana, who has been helping out. That is double lift to assist the team. A lot of wards still being bought by SoloMid, especially with Teemo laying mushrooms all over the place.
This could be the next team fight right here. They seem to be going for red, and TSM don't want to give them red, especially getting a little close there, but Dinh could not initiate as his team had just pulled back to mid lane to farm minions and push the lane conventionally. They're like, we don't need to pick a fight in the forest. We can push this, and I think that's probably the wrong decision, because in the lane, it's going to be much easier for Team SoloMid to get close to that misfortune and shut her down, whereas in the forest, as we just saw before, you know, there's all these angles, it's all narrow, it's very hard to get to a character that you want to get to, and Dyrus and Reggie have been dueling it out the bottom lane here for a while now, neither of them able to really do any damage to the other one, and Dyrus now actually rotating into the enemy forest to take the wolves. Why not? Then they've been scouted there by an Ash Hawk shot, so they know that Epik is here, and they're just gonna give the turret to Epik. It looks like Dyrus coming in from below as well. The Rainman is, yeah, he's not gonna do anything here either. So that's another turret. We're now 4-3 in favor of Epik. Gold advantage is also growing. Oh, that's a nice bait from Rainman. Wow. But is the damage gonna be? Yeah, that was a beautiful bait. Amumu just lost so much health for nothing basically. That's going to make Epik think twice about initiating on them right now.
That is actually a very tanky Teemo. We saw him taking the damage. He got a few shots off, was able to assist him with that wit's end and keep him from taking too much damage from Teemo as he came back around. Or from Amumu, I should say. And looks like Teemo has that red buff. He is going to make a move to start laying down some mushrooms in the jungle up top so he can feel confident if he wants to go ahead and farm that lane. Since I said that turret is not behind him, he's going to have to be very careful, but it looks like he made you chase down a nice flash away. And the second time Reginald is thwarted on his Destiny ultimate. And it looks like they will continue to go into this one. And it's going to be Dinh to initiate the ultimate coming out of the hands of Westrice. Will he continue? He has blinded Westrice, so he will not be able to get too many kills. They will be able to expend the Guardian Angels here. Westrice has, however, gone down the absolute zero, procced by Nunu. A nice kill by Dyrus there as we move back down to the fight. Special looking to go down. Teemo has fallen once again as the Rainman falls. Nice. A 1 for 3, and Epik is really turning this one in their favor. The tank from Dinh and Dyrus is just too much to be shut down right now by TSM. They're using their front line of defense very well. A good stun on Annie. She's going to go head-to-head with Nunu. Slowed down a little bit, not even taking any damage from that Ice Blast. And we are going to see the odd one also going down in this situation. There's no way he's making out of the live. Whoop, flipping right back. And it was going to be Dyrus getting the kill on that one. Chaox is like, hey, all right, let me get some damage in here. I want to party. But nothing going to happen there. He is just forced to go back. Unfortunately, his crystal arrow is down for about another 15 seconds. Throwing that in the bush to possibly catch Ash off guard and maybe see her come out slowly, but not going to happen. And another fight quickly going in favor of Epik. You know, just coming in, there was just a line of sight broken for Teemo, and there he is, just still is cute. Still is cute.
He is cute, even when that he's cute. That's a little creepy, but it's unfortunately true. So what happened here is that Reginald ported in around here, and Dyrus was like, you like porting? I can port too. He just teleported into a minion here and basically removed Reggie from the fight entirely, chased him down into the river and killed him. So, there you have it, guys. The counter to Twisted Fate is cinched. With the teleport, obviously. Cinch playing a great game here. If you can actually split up the enemy team in such a way that the damage isn't there when it needs to be there, that can win a team fight right there. And it's looking so good for Epik now. The gold advantage is still not that much better, but psychologically they must be feeling so great about themselves.
A ton of momentum, a ton of adrenaline, as I said before. Blood, sweat, and tears being left in the tournament area this weekend. You know, it's coming down to our last day. Teams have been sent home. Teams have been already given thousands of dollars for losing, you know, great prizes. So we're going to see who can really come up and get that $50,000. And right now we're looking for who is going to get that $7,000 spot. If TSM is able to pull this one back in their favor, they will force that to go to Epik. But if Epik can bring this to a game 3, it's really anybody's game on a one-to-one game point. It looks like they're just kind of congregating in the jungle, moving around with each other, and we see Reginald down on the bottom, farming himself up, trying to get himself some more kills on the minions. Dyrus will look to initiate on something here as he does see him behind. He's going to try to get past. Dyrus will wait for that until he gets too far away. The ultimate is on. He's actually doing quite a bit of damage. Reginald is running out of mana, but he does have blue buff. Flip him right out of his ultimate. Could he do it? Yes, he does right there, taking a ton of damage, and it looks like in a 1v1 situation, Dyrus is really able to come up on this one very big time, and as he just ticked away the health of Twisted Fate, we were able to tell that that one was going down. 60 seconds to get back into the game for Reginald, and he is not having the game he wants to have with Twisted Fate, being the carry that he can act as, being able to pour all around the map with a global ult, something that is so advantageous and has been thwarted every time. He was just waiting. Dyrus playing very smart, knowing that he ultimate would give him enough speed to continue to follow Reginald, waiting for that flick on the ultimate to thwart it.
And he misses the bandage shots on Baron. That's GG right there. No, of course not very important. But Dinh standing in a very defensive position there, trying to shield that damage from hitting Baron from the other side. TSM, can they do anything? Can they actually go in for a steal? Raymond positioning himself very aggressively, but no, the Baron goes to Epik and Janna channeling her ulti. Wow! Chaox taking it down so very, very quickly. Dyrus trying to run in there, but oh, there's the Raymond is still there in the river doing massive amounts of damage, taking out Dinh. And oh, there is a nice little satellite, and Raymond is gonna get away. Salty chasing the odd one again, but Salty obviously outnumbered. He has to run, and the arrow, oh, that's not it. But a beautiful flash in from Twisted Fate here, who gets flung into the tower and into a Tibbles. Wow, that team play, amazing. Ash taking all that damage, and Singed is still out for blood. That Singed is not yet sated, and especially obviously dead one down here. Is Singed gonna get there in time? Yes!
Very nice.
Wow. That Singed, you know what? I'm calling it right now, Singed ban next game.
Yeah, seriously, you cannot let Dyrus get singed. We saw before, they're not even going to worry about this, knowing with the damage that's on MF, he's probably going to back up a little bit here once these minions get here. There he is. The minions will grab aggro, very smart move, and he's just going to be able to port back as they are able to grab the first turret here, just out picking on the team composition and outplaying right now. Just so much tank on the side of Epik. I said it before, it's a great defensive line to be able to put out. So I wasn't going to say Salty was going to have a very tanky character, but he did go for that Rod of Ages, and it builds him into that, especially with the E of Annie, able to deceptively take a good amount of damage as well as return a little bit. And they've really been playing what would be, you know, the macro of their champions, or micro, not macro, micro, in and out, distributing the damage between their tanks, going in, Dinh playing a very smart move on that one, taking the brunt force of what a Teemo was giving out, not letting Teemo shoot the rest of his team, and keeping Westrice alive to continue to just barrage people with the ammo of misfortune.
I'm gonna question something here right now though. Dinh building Ninja Tabi. I don't know, Ninja Tabi are generally considered underpowered. They aren't, but they are good against certain team comps, against AD comps, and there is not that much AD damage. It's really just Ash, Teemo a little bit, but that Reginald is going to do pure magic damage, and that's going to be so much magic damage from him. He's not going to focus on the Amumu right away, but still, these dodge boots also mean, well, in the jungle, this is not the most important thing in the world, but it means fewer procs on Tantrum, obviously.
Right.
I know, there's probably a reason for it, but yeah, we see the beautiful, beautiful build here on Singed. We see Force of Nature, Crystal Scepter, we see a Banshee's Veil and a Sunfire Cape. That just means no one's going to do any damage to him, and he is going to be fast, and he's going to slow you down so much. And that's an inhibitor down, I would say, for Team SoloMid right here.
We have 3,500 HP on Dyrus going down. We have 3,000 HP on Dinh. That is a lot of damage that needs to be put out for either of those to want to back out of the fight. And even then, the tank is supposed to stay in there. The captain of the ship goes down with the ship, and that's how these guys feel about when playing tanks. So we're going to see what they can do in this bottom lane. They have a huge minion wave coming up, a bit of a stack of Sorks there, so OP Sork minions all day. And we're going to see them doing a lot of damage, just taking out, wiping these minion waves, no problem. They're going to be able to take down this turret pretty easily. And Janna just waiting to come in, possibly flash and blast somebody back into the team. Yes, exactly what she's trying to do. Going ahead and putting up the bump, and it looks like they are going to be forced out of this one. The odd one busting his ult right on the stairs of the base, and that is not going to affect anybody. And it looks like both teams will back out of that fight. Baron is not going to be up anytime soon, and Westrice and them still using their buff to their advantage.
So Janna's Flash and Ult were both up, but I believe Westrice waited for TSM to go aggressive. If they had gone aggressive, I'm sure we would have seen that super awesome move from Janna. But as they were actually hugging the tower until Misfortune ulted, it was the right call not to go in right there.
It looks like they will go for the blue here. They're going to give it to Dyrus. He can just run around all day with his poison on.
Oh god, this is
not what you want. We're going to check it out. He doesn't have too much AP after he got that Rylus. Really, that it is only to affect the other team. It's not going to give him too much damage. What he wants to do is just fling, get in there, and assist and initiate. And that's what Dyrus is doing very well for his team right now. 4, 2, and 10. Just hitting 300 creep score, actually beating out Annie at 290, 281 for MF. So the poison is definitely serving its purpose right now for Dyrus as he plays an amazing game. Dinh coming back out of the base with his Banshee's Veil on and procced up to take that negative buff or negative spell from the enemy. As Salsi kind of pushing a lane here by himself, knowing he's confident about the lanes. They pretty much have vision on the members of TSM right now with the amount of minions that are forced into their base. So they have a really good position on the map right now. They're really shutting down TSM.
Oh, yeah,
wiping out those top golems, going to the top turret, and now in the 3v, looks like they both dodged, splitting the defense there with the crystal arrow. No initiation coming from the hands of TSM, and looks like we may have one ult down. Yes, it is only one ult, and we're going to see what TF can do if he procs up Destiny to try to end this fight in their favor, or will he use it in the beginning to really see what's going on. Right now, he's kind of being pushed around and mauled by Dyrus, not doing too much damage, though. They are able to take that top turret. And it looks like they are now on to all inhibitor turrets. The first and middle inhibitor turret and inhibitor are down. And we're going to see if they can continue to push through this top one. They are splitting a little bit as Dyrus is just giving them hell throughout the base, clearing all minions, allowing the super minions to do what they can do best and get some damage onto those Nexus turrets. Without the help of the team of Epik, they're just going to heal back up. So right now, Dyrus is just really proving to be a pain in the butt for TSM.
He is also spamming the /love. So
yeah, I heard that. I can hear it all the way from the top.
Yep. This is how you do it, people. You just /love. By the way, you can bind that to a key. That's what you should do. That's how the pros do it. Very important to have your /love, /dance, and /taunt ready whenever you need them in the middle of a team fight. You never know. Yeah, we're gonna wait for that Amumu initiate here. When Amumu thinks he can actually catch someone out of position, but that would have to be Ash. And Ash currently actually at the fountain. So there's nothing to initiate on for Epik right now. They're gonna wait it out as the Trollololol Singed is still doing his thing. He's having fun there. He's taking some damage, but yeah, he has a force of nature. He's gonna heal up in no time at all, and he's eventually gonna take that turret down.
Still a lot of pressure in the hands of Epik as Double Lift, Dinh, and Westrice keep pushing on this top lane. Is exactly what they need to do with the amount of minions coming into the base. They cannot allow TSM to continue to farm these minions. They're going to catch up a little bit, and that's going to help them in the next team fight. We do see Teemo's Guardian is back up. That's going to assist him very much so in the next team fight, allowing him to respawn with a bit of health and back into the fight to blind and also shut down Westrice, as he has really been a problem for them this game.
Yeah, and we saw Westrice here taking the enemy red, yet another slap in their faces basically. His red was still up, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take yours as well, I'm not gonna leave it up to you. And yes, you are not gonna catch Singed, ever. Just look at him go, it's beautiful.
You're really one of the highest farm games I think we've seen, 330 for Dyrus. We got Annie with 316, Salsi and Westrice is 305. The Ash Arrow coming out onto Double Lift. That's exactly who they wanted to hit, and they will be able to take one out as their inhibitor respawns. They feel a little bit more confident about this fight, and Dinh will throw it on the ultimate, trying to focus on Reginald as well as the Chaox. Chaox taking huge damage, and the Timber misses as he flashes out of that one. Great reflexes by Chaox, understanding the timing of how Annie wanted to do that. Salsi taken down by the hands of Rain Man, and it looks like this fight is actually going in favor of Team SoloMid. Dyrus looks like he could go down here. He will continue to do the damage he can until the fight happens, and a very nice job down for Epik Gaming at this time, as Team SoloMid may have just turned the tide of this game.
Absolutely, this is a free Baron for them right here, and I would just like to point out that Dyrus went down with a fling. That is the way to go down. If you're gonna die, fling someone, you know, may as well. Ash pushing mid right now, probably hoping to get that in her before they can come back from Baron, so at least there's some advantage for them. She knows she cannot stop the Baron by herself, so very smart decision here. Sorry, misfortunes of course pushing for Team Epik, but yeah, Ash ported back, and Ash is going to be in a good position to stop misfortune. There's not much she can do, and she has to go home. Also building a Guardian Angel on her. You don't really see that in European meta. You don't see the Guardian Angel on the carries, because generally the idea is when a carry goes down, that team fight is probably lost anyway, so the Guardian Angel is not really that useful.
Another game going to 70,000 gold. TSM has combined 70,000. I'm sorry, Epik has 70,000. TSM has 66.4 thousand. And we'll have to see how they play this out. A lot of item builds have been finished. Teemo with that frozen mallet, Madred's, a black cleaver, the Guardian, and the Wit's End, just putting out a ton of damage as well as being able to take a little bit. Frozen mallet giving out so much HP, as well as really disabling anybody that's trying to get away from the fight. Annie, we're going to check out that build. The Rabadons, the Void, and Rod of Ages, another needlessly large rod. Then those penetration boots, and then the Quicksilver Sash to really get herself out of a sticky situation. So everybody's thinking of what they can do to assist themselves now in the fight without really requiring the assistance of their team. And that's really going to come into a big play when everybody, as I said before, can just micro in and out and really take that damage in a series of people.
Very, very smart build from Annie here. On top of the Quicksilver Sash, she's also building Sonya's Hourglass. That means she has 2 get-out-of-jail-free cards right there. She can cleanse the stun whenever she wants to, and if she gets focused too much, she just turns on that little yellow thing that turns her, puts her basically into a stasis for a moment, and makes her untargetable and invincible for a few seconds. So that means that as long as the team is around, Annie should not be victim to a early focus and kill ever in a team fight. And yeah, in this stage of the game, you don't ever go anywhere without your team. So the only thing that could happen is Annie farming a lane by herself and Twisted Fate coming in. Twisted Fate, as we can see, also with the Guardian Angel. This is interesting to me. I don't see that many Guardian Angels ever, but apparently they are still very popular in North America, and it does make sense for him. I mean, he may make a mistake with one of his teleports, and that respawn time may just be enough time for his team to catch up and get him out of a pickle there. As we saw yesterday, very beautifully done by AAA. Kuja sacrificing himself to save his teammate Roma on Nivea. And that Guardian Angel is just maybe going to give TSM the time necessary to do it. Big stack on top. Miss Fortune going to go ahead and farm that. Potentially with her arm. No, she doesn't feel like she needs to do that. She just farms it. At the same time, a big push coming mid. Oh, an aggressive port in from Reginald. And that's all. That's the first of the items right there, and the Quicksilver Sash, not necessary, but the Tippers goes down, so she didn't die without doing any damage, but still, this is bad for Epik. This is your main damage out of the, well, your main magic damage out of the game right now, and that is probably going to be an inhibitor for Team SoloMid. What do you think? Can they stop this?
That last attack was amazing. The last fight that they had, we saw 4 go down for Epik. TSM taking a huge advantage of that now with Baron. They were being a little hesitant about using their Baron, but now they are definitely in the face of Epik. They're going to choose to start pushing every lane. They have great minion waves coming from each lane right now, and this game has absolutely turned in the favor of TSM right now. Even though they are down by 5 kills, they have all the momentum in the game that they need. They have Baron, and they have lanes pushed, as I said. Top lane is the only one that they really can't initiate on into the inhibitor right away, and it looks like they are going to be able to take down this turret as well. Teemo just laser pew-pews all over the place. I couldn't even see how many were coming out there as they move on to the inhibitor turret, and it looks like they're going to try to tank this a little bit, and we'll see what they do. Teemo trying to get himself close enough to do more damage to the turret, and a good defensive job there by Epik to stop them from doing the damage that they needed to clear out the jungle of Epik now. TSM full control of the map after really 70% of that game. It looked like it was going in Epic's favor.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ash Arrow was up in that last standoff, but very, very good positioning from Team Epik. They always had the 2 guys with the benches were standing in front, ready to face tank one of those arrows for the squishies in the back. And Chaox never saw the opportunity to put an arrow in. If that arrow had hit something like a Misfortune, that could have been game right there. Very good play, both on Westrice and on the guys in his team with the Banshees shielding his squishy from the damage.
We see all 5 members of Epik now in middle. Each slot you see in a health bar is 100 HP, singed with 3690, 3,690 HP. We have 3,105 on Mumu. That is Dyrus and Dinh with the most HP of the game. Will he get initiated on here? He is being slowed and debuffed by Chaox, but he is going to go in an ultimate. Absolute Zero coming out as well. Dyrus jumps into the fight to take the brunt of the damage. Reginald goes down, but he will come up from his Guardian Angel, turning around. Westrice getting stunned by the yellow card. He's still chasing, trying to take down Reginald, and we are going to go to the middle of the fight now, as it looks like Reginald is able to make it away alive. Still a ton of damage being done. Dinh trying to get out of the fight now, as they are thwarting that 3,000 HP. Now it turns onto Westrice, and everybody lives from TSM. A very nice focus and a very good escape so far. They are going to be able to instantly shut down Westrice as he gets back up, and a great job by TSM turning that fight into their favor after being initiated on as a move with bandage toss in. Goes for the ultimate. Singe was right into there, start throwing around the poison, and they really weren't worried about it. They knew what they had to do. They started focusing the right people. It was really in the Westrice that went down, so without him, I should say, this next fight is definitely going to be difficult. That was where the damage was coming from. TF able to ult right back in after healing up, and this could be very detrimental for Epic.
There's the Quicksilver Sash. Nice reaction time there from Celsi getting out of that. Oh, nice toss on special going down. But I don't think Epic should be fighting this out. The tower is down right now, and yeah, too much damage output from TSM right there. That's possibly it.
Oh, this looks like it could
I'm
be
so
very
sorry.
close for them. A good amount. There it is, the flash away from Annie. Teemo just too close to make it happen. That was not the stun that he needed.
Nice.
Double Lip saying, you know, I'm going to save myself just for the heck of it. I think this could be the game in favor of TSM here as they continue to push on. They have a very big minion wave. And unfortunate for Epic as they were just hanging on by the skin of their teeth there when losing Westrice. Actually, Westrice back into this one, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage here, possibly pulling him off. Able to take down Ash, able to take down Rainman here, and they are both up on Guardians. Reginald, can she continue to do the damage? Westrice looking to get back into this one, and they are able to push him off. However, all the turrets are down. They have lost an inhibitor, and they only have the top and bottom inhibitor to go. A good push out there. The game is not over just yet, but it is very grim for Epic Gaming at this point. 55 minutes into the match, almost breaching that hour mark. 22-20, 78,000 gold for Epic Gaming, 81K for TSM.
Wow.
As I think that's a new high we've seen here in the tournament. This might be one of the longest games as well. Everybody back to base to get back into the ring.
And 4 Guardian Angels in this game. I can't get over it. So many Guardian Angels. I mean, that's so much damage output that you don't have, but I guess that they're worth it. I mean, we just saw how powerful they were. That fight, oh god, that looked painful. With Amumu just saying, you know what, I'm gonna ulti anyway. And what happened here is Reginald coming in from the side, chasing, or rather baiting Westrice around. Westrice damage was really needed here in the main fight. And when Westrice decided to rejoin the fight, I think we're gonna go through this in the telecast after the game if we have time.
Yeah, for sure.
But when he decided to come back, not the time to come back. You don't win a 1v4. And this may be a Baron. Yeah, too many of them bot lane. They're not gonna get there in time. Free Baron. Baron number 2 for Team SoloMid. I'm so close to calling it, Rivington.
Well, the only real factor here is that that inhibitor needs to come back up. They have a good 3 minutes left on that to respawn, and it looks like it's going to be a full rush down after they grab this blue. Wards all throughout the jungle, and that's really good by Rainman. He's going to be able to prevent any chasing that happens if they begin to lose this fight, which I don't think that they will. You know, I've been going around on Epic's side, but let's look at the HP of Nunu. 3,800 HP on Nunu. X Special 3,199, so they definitely have the HP advantage going into this fight right now. As look back at Singe, he still has 3,600, so they are going to be able to take a little bit more damage. They have a lot of defense and a lot of great items. The builds are almost completely finished. They cannot fit any more in their inventory at this point in time. And this is what I was talking about in the review yesterday, is it comes down to the strategy of your game. Dyrus are overextending just a little bit. They have Baron. Why fight off the turret? There is no reason to do so. Will Reginald come in on this one? And he chooses not. Oh, he gets way too close to the fountain, and he goes down. Reginald finds himself in a sticky situation, and it looks like they are forced to back here. Could this be what Epic needs? The arrow coming out, it will slow him down, but Singe did not get hit by that. He did get hit by the mushroom, however, and they will continue to chase. They are going to chase them all the way back. They are going to have to stop this wave as it will go right onto the Nexus, and they don't want that to happen. No, they are running right past it. They're going to try to force TSM back into their base. They want that inhibitor back. That will definitely thwart anything that TSM wants to do. Pushing out, they may be able to get behind them with a teleport on Singe. He'll be able to run into the base, tank those turrets. Not that he is one to be able to backdoor a turret too fast, but that is not something you want to have to deal with during a fight where you're trying to win the game. And it looks like they will be able to put the pressure on here. 30 seconds for Reginald to get back into the game, and the inhibitor taking some damage, but being able to focus it there standing still is causing them to take a lot. And it looks like this may just be a stalemate on the inhibitor. Both teams are going to be forced to back, but no. Chaox taking down Dinh. The flash and ultimate coming out of the hands of Nunu using the Zonias, but he will go down anyways in the valiant attempt to keep himself alive and possibly flash out of that. But I think it was also down as he had just used it, and I believe believe that could be one of the final pushes required. They do have Dyrus to tank a lot of damage, but they don't have any turrets to save that Nexus right now. So they need to be very careful, and it's going to be a very, very difficult defensive strategy that they have to put up here.
No, it's not going to be a very difficult defensive strategy. It's going to be game. Annie just using Flash there to get out of the absolute zero, and then wasting her Sonya's as well. This is not good. Dyrus cannot 1v5 at this point, even though he's singed. Yeah, singed, what are you doing? And I believe this is game right now. TSM have this. We're going to see a rematch. TSM versus AAA. It's going to be pretty epic. Epic out. And yes, we're seeing the Team SoloMid there. Very, very... yes, and there we can see the sign now. There, the Rainman #1 and TSM there, slightly off camera. Beautiful, beautiful signs there, guys. Well done and well predicted. The Rainman is #1 Teemo in the world.
An amazingly played game. We thought that, the pick of the Teemo and the pick of the Reginald really affected him, and they were doing, Epik was doing so well in the beginning. Yeah, do it up, do it up.
I do it. I'm a little late, but still.
A GG, of course. And as I was saying before, Reginald was focused beautifully in the beginning. They shut him down. He really wasn't able to do too much damage. He was using all of his abilities just to get his kills. And, it started to build him up a little bit, but they had great focus in the beginning of the game, shutting down Teemo, pushing him back with lane presence, shutting down Reginald in mid with multiple kills in the beginning of the game. He actually went down 10 times in the game, only getting 2 kills. Actually, that is an absolute shutdown.
Let's talk about that in just a second when we go to the score screen. As soon as we're done, look at the players here. The brothers are about to shake hands. Just off camera there right now, the brothers shaking hands.
Westrice.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. We are going to see a rematch of Team SoloMid versus Against All Authority next. And honestly, let me tell you, that was possibly one of the most epic best of threes yesterday.
A little bit, definitely.
Yeah, you're definitely allowed to sweat at this point. That was just incredible. And that means we are now going to have a quick look at the tournament overview. Let's see where we're standing right now, what the road has been so far today. And yes, here we can see we started with the relegation matches. AAA did not play against Game T. That's a little bit inaccurate there, but right. Anyway, did they in the first game? No, game went to the 5th. Anyway, we saw
the relegations.
Those were the relegations. Yes, those were the relegations. So yesterday, wow, the days are all blurring together for me at this point.
So much competition going on.
We saw an amazing game, AAA versus Fnatic. This morning, Fnatic dominating AAA in the first game, the second game being super close.
These are almost mirror matches.
Absolutely,
the last lower bracket final and the upper bracket final.
Absolutely, and now we just saw in SoloMid versus Epik Gaming the same thing again. SoloMid completely dominating the team of the Dinh brother in the first game, and then the second game super close. And finally, even though Epik seemed to have the advantage, TSM turned it around. Now we're gonna see an incredible lower bracket final, AAA versus SoloMid. If you look there at the upper bracket semifinals, we had that before, and it was amazing. Don't miss it. And whoever wins that one is going to go on to face Fnatic. That's going to be so very, very scary.
It's going to be a big matchup, especially the next one, as we said. We'll jump back and see if we can grab the scoreboard on this so we can show you what happened. The farm, absolutely immense, combined both teams. Actually, Epik having over 1,000 creep score combined. 384 for Westrice, 340 for Salsi, 345 for Dyrus, and then another 200 combined between Dan, Dinh, and Double Lift, as Dan was in the jungle, not being able to get too much for himself, but still doing a very great job. And a support Double Lift pulling up 103 creep score for himself. Not something you usually see, but awesome for him as well.
Can we please switch to the scoreboard so we actually see the numbers what we're talking about? That would be great.
Chaox doing a very good job, breaking the 400 mark, the only one in the matchup at 417, 379 on Rainman, and we had 137 for the odd one and 276 for Reginald as well.
Yeah, Reginald actually, we're still not cutting over the score. I'm not sure if anyone is alive backstage. They may have just died from the excitement of this match. Rivington, it is entirely forgivable at this point, actually.
Oh, of course.
Dying for this match, totally worth it. So let's just talk about what we're seeing, what you guys aren't seeing. Please go to the scoreboard if you can. We are going to go to the scoreboard right now, I believe. Yes. So what we're Yes, it's coming up in just a moment. What we see here is Reginald not having a good game at all. 2-10-8, like we said, cinched, countering that Twisted Fate so beautifully. And you know what? Captain Timo carrying Team SoloMid to the win. Freak is going to be so happy right now. Captain Timo carrying the entire team on his minuscule shoulders. I don't know how he does it. Somehow he did it. That was a beautiful,
It's a little easier in zero gravity.
It is. That's why he was the astronaut. Absolutely, yeah. And the farm, just insane on this game. Let's have a quick look at the damage dealt stats. I'm going to be very interested in this right now. Damage dealt here. Westrice, okay, that makes sense. Misfortune in first place.
Very nice game by Westrice, playing huge for his team.
And Chaox, obviously, with the Ash and the other team. But I mean, we saw the stats before. I need to show it anyway. Look at it. Look at this. Do you see this? That's Timo. That's Timo
almost
right there.
Off the chart. Almost having to make a whole new graph position for himself. Let's go to Gold Earn and see where that really came out. Oh, I think it's near the top. Yes, right there.
Yeah.
And we'll see just so much gold earned in this game. The Rain Man being able to get so much for himself as Timo, again, you know, being able to get all those kills is going to farm him up so much. The creep score was really what brought it in the game for Epik, and those gold per second items were really helping them out. You see how much healing Dyrus actually did with the items.
Himself, yeah, even though the X Special is an actual healer, Dyrus healed more with his ultimate. Just put it on whenever you have it. Why not? Magic damage dealt, Dyrus. Unfortunately, and this is something that we're going to get at some point, we don't have damage dealt to champions, which would be the more interesting stat, because this includes damage dealt to minions, obviously. But yeah, just poisoning those minions all the time. Let's see the damage taken. Let's see who was actually the tank for these teams. Dyrus.
Look at that, doing such a good job. It's almost like, you know, watching a great soccer game and you have possession of the ball 80% of the game, and it's just that one split second of that moment that the other team takes over and gets what they need. That one chance that they have, they put it in the net, and that's really what TSM did in this spot. They came off the momentum of last game. They had they got a little jittery in the beginning. They started losing a lot of composure, but they brought it back. The few team fights, and they were really able to break it up in the jungle.
There's a few things I want to point out still that just strike me as so odd from a European standpoint. I mean, we have Starks further on Tarek here. It's a good item. He is a support. It's great for him to build it so nobody else needs to spend money on it, but I don't know. It's working. It's clearly working. They've won the game, and we're now going to cut over to the players, and we're going to see what they have to say for themselves.
To the tournament area.
Hey everybody, it's Andrew Beagle, and I am here with Dan Dim from Epic Games and Reginald from Team SoloMid. Boy, guys, that was a nail-biter. It was one of the longest games we had in the tournament, back and forth. At one point, you guys were up, 6K gold, and then the turnaround, to Team SoloMid being up almost 12,000 gold. What happened there? What were the big mistakes that played into that?
Basically, we were just out of position, and they caught us, and we just tried to recover our lost position, and then that resulted us just getting, well, we lost all our players, and they got a free Baron, and just continued to take down all our towers.
Gotcha. Okay, so one of the questions that have been kind of in the forums for a little bit is, why Timo? We haven't seen him in competitive play for a while. What's with that last pick?
Well, honestly, the Timo thing was kind of like on the moment, heat of the moment. We're just like, oh, what should we land against Singe to shit on him? And we're like, oh, okay, let's get Timo. Because Rayman's always like, hey, Timu's the best. And we're like, oh, let's just use Timo against them. But for the last pick, it was actually Twisted Fate, and I really didn't expect us to pick that. Or we actually planned on picking it fifth, but we're used to more of a tank team rather than an EU style where you go really squishy champions against another team, right? And that's your goal is to drag it to late game, whereas our goal is usually just to win early game. And so that game was really hard for me because I'm always the type of person that I try to fight, and I just almost lost the game to my team.
Now, not a lot of people know this, but you guys are actually brothers. You're in the top 4 here in Sweden at the Season 1 championship. Now that you guys are going on and you'll be in 4th place, who are you rooting for in the finals?
I'm rooting for Fnatic. I'm actually just kidding. I'm just kidding. I owe my loyalty to my bloodline, so.
That's very nice of you. That's very nice of you. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really care if he wanted any other team to win, but there's a lot on the line, and we're gonna have to work our way back up because we made bad decisions and we're just so up ahead and we should have won, but I don't know. We just need to step it up and try to win.
Now you guys play together all the time. The two teams practice a lot. What do your parents think about all this?
What are our parents' take on all this? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just leave it at that.
All right, that sounds good. I guess the last question that I have: what do you think of the major problems that you're going to come into, in your fight towards the top two in the finals?
The thing with we have a problem ending games, and we shouldn't have that mindset. Like we're always too scared, and like even when we have like a 10,000 gold lead yesterday, we lost because we were too scared to make a move. Like before level 1, we're really aggressive. We go for kills, we go for tower dives, and we're up like 10 kills. But once it gets to the very last moment, we can just never finish it. We choke. So my goal is to just wrap up games, get better, and hopefully win.
All right. Well, you both played really well. We really appreciate the great games that we saw, and we're going to go back to you now.